Chapter 149 Ancestral Enhancement Effect. Essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies. When Zhou found Zhao Changshu, he was chatting with a young man. "Greetings, my lord." When the two of them saw Zhou, Zhao Changshu immediately stood up and bowed. When the young man beside him saw this, he reacted and hurriedly stood up to bow to Zhou. Then he looked at Zhou excitedly. "And this is?" Zhou nodded and looked at the young man. "His name is Lu Yu. He's my disciple. He just joined our Blazing Sun City today. At that time the Lord was not around. I talked with Elder Zheng and recruited him. This disciple of mine is quite capable and quite talented. He might become a pillar of our territory in the future." Zhao Changshu smiled. "So you're Elder Zhao's disciple. Welcome to Blazing Sun City." Zhou smiled. "Hello, my lord. I've long heard about you and your territory. I've finally seen you today," Lu Yu said excitedly. He had been chatting with his teacher just now. Zhao Changshu told him that not only did he break through the original upper limit of his potential, but he had also become a diamond-tier elementary grade architect. An architect of this level could be said to be unique in the entire Aurora Kingdom. As his disciple, he naturally knew what his teacher wanted. He also knew how difficult it was to do this. His teacher had been pursuing this for decades after all. He did not expect the Lord in front of him to do it in just a few days. And according to his teacher, their Lord had done far more than this. Zhao Changshu stopped talking. However, this did not stop Lu Yu from revering this Zhou, whom he had never met before. In addition, Zhou was not bad-looking and had all kinds of fame. That was why he was so excited when he saw Zhou. "My own little fanboy?" Zhou was surprised to see his expression. When he saw the other party's attributes, a smile immediately appeared on his face. This young man, Lu Yu, was already a white platinum-tier elementary grade architect. Moreover, his potential was the same as Zhao Changshu's. He had the potential of a white platinum-tier advanced grade. Moreover, the other party was just a young man. It could only be said that Elder Zhao had good taste. And he also reacted. The other party should be a legendary talent attracted by the reputation rating after his territory leveled up. The three of them chatted for a while before Zhou brought up the main topic of his visit. "Elder Zhao, the Imperial Ancestral Temple should be completed, right? Bring me to the Imperial Ancestral Temple," Zhou said. "I was just about to talk to my lord about this. My lord, please follow me." Zhao Changshu stood up and led the way. Zhou followed him. Lu Yu did not receive any hints from the two of them, so he did not follow them rashly. A moment later, the two of them arrived at the Imperial Ancestral Temple. Zhou looked at the building. A building notification soon appeared. It was basically the same as the architectural effect described in the architectural blueprint of the Imperial Ancestral Temple. The building level had changed from special to special. White silver tier elementary grade. Moreover, there were two new columns. Current Ancestor Statue Worship, and Current Ancestor Enhancement Effect. However, the words "none" were displayed on it. Zhao Changshu was already introducing them. This Imperial Ancestral Temple covers an area of about 1,390 square kilometers. It's 47 meters long from north to south and 29 meters long from east to west. It has 3 layers of walls. According to the blueprint requirements, they are all yellow glazed tiles with red walls. The building inside the wall is north to south. The innermost building is the main hall of the Imperial Ancestral Temple. There are shrines inside that can pray to our ancestors. However, because there is no ancestor statue, there are no ancestors in the shrine for the time being. In addition, the construction level of the Imperial Ancestral Temple is the same as the territory. As the level of the territory increases, the level of the Imperial Ancestral Temple will also increase. The number of ancestral statues that can be worshipped inside will also increase. Currently, our territory is at the white silver tier elementary grade, so we can only worship 3 shrines. When Blazing Sun City advances to a yellow gold tier territory, the number of shrines that can be worshipped in the main hall will increase again. Zhao Changshu explained in detail. Zhou acknowledged. Then, the two of them walked into the Imperial Ancestral Temple, and passed through 3 layers of walls before arriving at the main hall of the Imperial Ancestral Temple. As soon as he entered the main hall, Zhou saw 3 red shrines that were 5 to 6 meters tall neatly placed on the altar. Below the shrine there were also incense burners, red ropes, copper coins, agarwood, and other sacrificial items. A faint smell of agarwood permeated the entire imperial ancestral temple, making one's heart calm down. Zhou waved his right hand. The statue of Sun Simiao's ancestor appeared before him. Then he did not call for help. He personally picked up the ancestor statue and placed it respectfully and carefully in the first shrine on the left. Just as he placed Sun Simiao's ancestral statue on it, Zhou immediately felt the entire imperial ancestral temple tremble slightly. However, the tremor was extremely small. Only he who had the chaos human bloodline could sense it. Zhao Chongwen did not sense it at all. At the same time, an ancient and serious voice sounded in his mind. A doctor should not rely on his own strengths to focus on managing his wealth, rather he should have a heart of salvation. Is this the voice of Sun Simiao's ancestor? Zhou was stunned. At this moment, a new text notification appeared. You have placed a white silver-tier ancestor statue of the human race on Cerulean planet, in the shrine of the Imperial Ancestral Temple. Sun Simiao has activated the exclusive ancestral buff effect. Essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies. The current ancestor statue has been updated. Current ancestral enhancement effect has been updated. The next second, a withered and pale ancient book appeared in front of him. Zhou took it. A text notification appeared. Treasure name. Essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies. Treasure grade. White silver tier. Treasure effect 1. After healing the injured, there is a chance that all doctor-related professionals in the territory will comprehend more medical theories, increasing the probability of breaking through by 5%. Treasure effect 2. When physician-related professionals with the essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies encounter difficult illnesses, there is a chance that they will receive hints from the human ancestor of Cerulean planet, Sun Simiao. Treasure description. Human lives are the most important. They are more precious than gold. They are more virtuous than this. Prompt. This treasure is exclusive to the Imperial Ancestral Temple. It cannot be worn down, lost, or destroyed. This ancestor's enhancement effect is so powerful. Zhou exclaimed in surprise when he saw the effect of the treasure. The first effect could increase the chances of doctor-related professionals in the territory breaking through. Not to mention the second. Sun Simiao's ancestor had personally guided him. This was only the white silver tier essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies effect. What about the higher level essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies effect? I wonder if there's any way to obtain a statue of the same ancestor? Zhou could not help but think. Then he had no clue and stopped thinking about it. Then, he looked at the essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies in his hand and thought for a moment. Then, he sent someone to call Bai Yuejing over. What can I do for you, my lord? After Bai Yuejing arrived, she immediately said respectfully. Zhou said nothing. Instead, he first took a look at his loyalty. He realized that his loyalty had increased from 85 points to 89 points. He had improved to such an extent in just a day. This meant that the other party approved of him in Blazing Sun City. Zhou was relieved. He handed the essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies to the other party, and told him the effect of this treasure. It's too valuable. How can I use it? Bai Yuejing said in shock. This treasure could affect the future of the entire territory's doctor. His lordship actually gave him such a precious item. Elder Bai, take it. You are the only extraordinary tier doctor in the territory. Everyone else's medical skills are far below yours. If you're not qualified to use it, who else in our territory is qualified to use it? In the future, Elder Bai will have many important patients to treat. When the time comes, he'll need Elder Bai and the essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies. Elder Bai, don't decline. Zhou said. When Bai Yuejing heard this, she stopped hesitating and solemnly promised Zhou that she would keep it safe and display its value. Zhou acknowledged. The two of them chatted for a while before Bai Yuejing bowed solemnly in front of Sun Simiao's statue and left. After everyone left, Zhou came to Sun Simiao's statue. He picked up 3 sticks of incense and lit them up. Then, he bowed 3 times to Sun Simiao's statue and solemnly placed them on the incense burner. I hope that Lord Ancestor can protect our blazing sun city and continue smoothly in this Lord of all races competition. He prayed. Then, he turned around and left the Imperial Ancestral Temple. In the Lord's residence, Zhou, who had just returned, heard Wu Tu's voice outside the door. Zhou let him in. Chapter 150 Wu Tu's Map. Starfire Mercenary Team. My lord, this is the map I drew today. In addition, I've also investigated the general situation of the surrounding area. Wu Tu handed over a map respectfully. Zhou took it and read it. This map was almost the same as yesterday's. However, there were some new areas. For example, the unknown area in the north was now discovered to be a white-silver tier area, Mingguang Town, and to the north of Mingguang Town was a yellow-gold tier area, Blazing Sun City. They were all official territories under the jurisdiction of the Aurora Kingdom. Zhou raised his eyebrows when he saw this. Then he could make a trip to Blazing Sun City. This way, he could buy some yellow gold tier Aurora crystals with the Aurora Crystal trading contract he had just obtained. This way, he could upgrade all the bronze Aurora Kingdom towers in his territory to yellow gold tier Aurora Kingdom towers. When the time comes, even if a diamond tier expert dared to invade his Blazing Sun City, he could even guarantee that the other party would never return. Then he looked elsewhere. The north of Blazing Sun City and the west of Fish Spring Town were both regional territories under the Aurora Kingdom. In the east of Thorn Dune, there were 2 green bronze tier regional territories and 1 white silver tier regional territories. On both sides of the Sandstorm Forbidden Land and the south of the Green Forest, there was a black iron tier territory, 2 green bronze tier territory, and a white silver tier territory. Further away was the location of a yellow gold tier regional territory in the Taiyan Kingdom, Dark Knight Town. Starting here all the way south was already the territory of the Crimson Kingdom, Taiyan Kingdom. The Aurora Kingdom can be regarded as a friendly party at the moment. Moreover, they're not weak. We definitely can't attack them. For the Taiyan Kingdom to be able to fight against the Aurora Kingdom for hundreds of years, their strength is definitely not inferior to the Aurora Kingdom. It's not within my consideration. Then we can only attack the 7 regional territories east of Thorn Dune and south of the Sandstorm Forbidden Land, Zhou pondered. However, this Sandstorm Forbidden Land is a little troublesome. If the problem of the Sandstorm Forbidden Land's army's passage cannot be resolved, then I can only expand my territory east of Thorn Dune. Zhou frowned slightly. To a lord like him, it was not a good thing to have one's offensive direction restricted. He thought for a while. He suddenly thought of Lu Rui and the rest. As adventurers, they might be able to learn more about the Sandstorm Forbidden Land from other local adventurers. There might be another way to pass. Without hesitation, Zhou sent someone to call Zhang Lanxing over. Previously, after Lu Rui and the others followed their army back to Blazing Sun City, they only stayed for a day before returning to prepare to establish an adventurer team. But Zhang Lanxing was left behind. It was convenient for Zhou and Lu Rui to contact each other. Now it looked like it was going to come in handy. Soon Zhang Lanxing came over. "Greetings, my lord," Zhang Lanxing said respectfully. At this moment, his attitude had changed greatly from when he first arrived. Zhou could clearly tell that the other party's respect for him had completely turned into sincerity. Zhang Lanxing knew the reason very well. After staying in the territory for a few days, he understood more about Blazing Sun City and the Lord of the Blazing Sun. In particular, the other party's territory was clearly only a desert territory, but it could develop to such a scale and achievement. It even became the strongest human lord on the Cerulean planet. Apart from being shocked, Zhang Lanxing only felt admiration from the bottom of his heart. Honestly, if it were him, he would have been assigned to a desert territory at the beginning. He would probably give up his status as a lord on the same day, and change his occupation to become an adventurer. Who would have thought that a territory with barren resources, surrounded by monsters and sand, could develop to this extent? Zhou naturally did not know what he was thinking. She told him directly why she had come to look for him. Sandstorm Forbidden Land. I've heard of this place. Because that place is a forbidden area for natural disasters, there seem to be many strange legends. But most of them are made up by other adventurers, rangers, and martial artists. I wonder if it's true. Zhang Lanxing pondered. This is very important to me. Get Lu Rui and the others to temporarily put aside all their work and focus on investigating the sandstorm forbidden land. Zhou Zhou ordered without hesitation. Yes, my lord. Zhang Lanxing said solemnly. This was the first time the feudal lord had assigned them quests. He had to do it well. He reminded himself. How have you guys been lately? Zhou Zhou asked. With the 5,000 Black Iron Tier Mist Corps sponsored by the Overlord, Captain Liu has already established the Adventurer Team. The name of the Adventurer Team is Starfire Mercenary Team. The name is a metaphor that we are the official Adventurer Team of Blazing Sun City. However, only a few of us founders know about this. We haven't announced it to the public. Because there are some things that official adventurer teams will encounter obstacles if they want to do it. Private adventurer teams will easily come into contact with such things. Other than that, we've also recruited a portion of Black Iron Tier and Bronze Rank members. The Starfire Mercenary Team now has 50 members, Zhang Lanxing said respectfully. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. They were especially satisfied with the name of the Starfire Mercenary Team. He thought for a moment. He took out 500 green bronze tier mist cores, 100 soldier type class change certificates, and 50 Sandcorp summoner class change certificates from his spatial ring and handed them to the other party. Your adventurer team has just been established. You should have spent most of the 5,000 Black Iron Tier Mist cores. Take these and use them as resources to continue developing your adventurer team. If you can do the job I gave you today, I'll give you more rewards, Zhou Zhou said. After all, it was the first official adventurer team in Blazing Sun City. If he didn't reward the other party, Zhou Zhou himself felt that it wasn't good enough. If not for the fact that they were too weak and could not accept more rewards, Zhou Zhou even wanted to sponsor them with the yellow gold tier mist core. Thank you, my lord, Zhang Lanxing said in surprise. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. Then the two of them chatted for a while more before Zhang Lanxing left with these things. When Zhou Zhou saw this, he called the yellow gold tier intermediate level warrior Luo Feng over. Senior Luo, there's something I'd like you to do, Zhou Zhou said. Then, he told him about the Starfire Mercenary Team. The Starfire Mercenary Team has just been established. There are some things and rules that they might not understand. That's why I want to ask Senior to secretly escort them for a period of time. If they accidentally fall into a desperate situation, when the time comes, please help me if you can. Of course, if the environment isn't too dangerous, then let them see blood. There's no harm in training. Zhou Zhou said politely. That's easy. When I was young, I joined many adventure teams. After I became a wanted criminal, I've also seen the dark side of this world close to the mark, not far off. Leave this matter to me. Don't worry, my lord, Luo Feng said confidently and even a little arrogantly. Zhou Zhou acknowledged. After that, Zhou Zhou did not talk much. Seeing this, Luo Feng bade farewell and left. Zhou Zhou thought about it. What else did he not do? Soon, he thought of something that he had almost forgotten. Try me. He opened his friend list and wrote the title of Military Industry Lord in the friend request column. Originally, he thought that it would be very difficult to add the other party. After all, the other party was now a top-notch lord second only to Dragon Lady Lord and the others. In particular, the other party's military and industrial alliance had been very popular on the World Channel recently. It was normal for the other party not to be added as a friend. Unexpectedly, he received a notification that he had successfully added a friend as soon as he clicked confirm. He froze. Then the other party immediately sent a message. Military Industry Lord. Are you really the Lord of the Blazing Sun? Zhou Zhou. Chapter 151 4 Types of Firearms. Huge profit. Zhou Zhou looked at this sentence speechlessly. Then he immediately typed a reply. Lord of the Blazing Sun. Can I be fake? Military Industry Lord. Yesterday, a lord accidentally received a hidden mission. After completing it, he obtained the method to create a change name card. This morning, I've already seen many names like Lord of the Blazing Sun, Lord of the Blazing Gun, Lord of the Scorching Sun. 3. Lord of the Blazing Sun, Glory of the Pioneer 2. The strongest novice lord. What about now? Military industry lord. Degree a degree. Military industry lord. Hello? Big boss blazing sun. Greater than over equal to less than over equal to. Lord of the blazing sun. You like emojis so much. Are you a girl? Military industry lord. Ahem, big shot. I'm a man. I just like emojis, just like how a fierce man likes little kittens. Oh may go. Jojo was silent for 2 seconds. Indeed. Who could reject little kittens? Lord of the blazing sun. I want to buy some firearms from your military industry alliance. Is that convenient? What he wanted to do was to buy some muskets in the modern armed territory. Let these ancient soldier types who controlled muskets immediately transform into modern soldier types to increase their combat strength. The other party quickly replied. Military industry lord. Other people might not be able to do it, but Big Boss Blazing Sun naturally can. Big Boss, we have created a total of 4 types of firearms. They are respectively green bronze tier elementary grade firearms, Mauser C96 pistol, green bronze tier intermediate grade firearms, GW98 bolt action rifle, green bronze tier advanced grade firearms, MP18 submachine gun, white silver tier elementary grade firearms, MG08 Maxim heavy machine gun. Military industry lord. Their prices are relatively expensive due to the difficulty of making them. The price of a firearm is 5 green bronze tier mist cores, 10 green bronze tier mist cores, 20 green bronze tier mist cores, and 10 white silver tier mist cores. Military industry lord. The standard price for bullets is 1 black iron tier mist core for every 20 bullets. Military industry lord. Boss, how many do you want to buy? Lord of the blazing sun. The firearms you made have been recognized by the supreme will. Military industry lord. Yes, I didn't make up the gun level myself. It's the equipment information that automatically appears after the gun is manufactured. Jojo was deep in thought. As half a fan of the military, he knew a little about the firearms mentioned by the other party. They were all firearms from the First World War. The craftsmanship was simple and cheap. He did not expect such an ancient gun to be ranked among the green bronze tier, and even white silver tier in the high continent. What about real modern guns or even future guns? It seemed that the weapons of technological civilizations could not be underestimated in the high continent. At the very least, it was not a problem for them to occupy a place in the high continent. Then, he thought for a moment and started typing a reply. Lord of the blazing sun. 50 bullets for each type of firearm, 100,000 bullets for each type of firearm, and 1 million bullets for Maxim alone. Even though there were only 18 musketeers in his territory, bullets were consumed very quickly on the battlefield. It could easily consume thousands of bullets for each battle without a lot of soldiers. After buying so many firearms and ammunition, he shouldn't need to buy more for the time being. Military industry lord. Boss is generous. Lord of the blazing sun. When you're ready, let's trade. Military industry lord. All right. For all. A moment later, the military industry lord sent him a transaction. Jojo also took out 6,500 black iron tier aurora crystals, 1,750 green bronze tier aurora crystals, and 500 white silver tier aurora crystals to trade. The mist cores were naturally nothing to him. After all, it was just the black iron tier mist core. He now had more than 16 million of them. He had quite a lot of mist cores of other levels now. Soon 200 firearms and 130,000 4-model bullets appeared in Jojo's spatial ring. Jojo took out a gun and checked their information. Equipment name. Mauser C96 pistol. Equipment grade. Green bronze tier advanced grade. Capacity. 10 rounds. Bullet speed. 850 meters per second. Bullet specification. 763 by 25 millimeters. Effective range. 300 m. Damage. Green bronze tier elementary grade. The description of the equipment has changed? And why is the bullet's initial velocity and effective range so ridiculous? Jojo was shocked when he saw the attributes of the pistol. If one only looked at the name of this gun, some people might not understand it. However, there were a few very grounded, down-to-earth names in his hometown. For example, a shell gun, a slow-motion machine box cannon. It has an extremely high rate of appearance in television dramas. Therefore, Zhou knew more about it than other firearms. With his understanding of this spear, its marksmanship speed and effective range were at least 2 times higher than before. Is it because of the materials? Or have they developed more advanced pistol manufacturing techniques? Zhou was deep in thought. If it was someone else, the military-industrial alliance could not be underestimated. He did not say anything else. Why would he care so much? He just had to develop himself well. If he could develop, he would truly be invincible. Then, he looked at the attributes of the other 3 guns. Equipment name: GW98 bolt-action rifle. Equipment grade: green bronze tier intermediate grade. Capacity: 5 rounds. Bullet speed: 850 meters per second. Bullet specification: 9 by 19 millimeters. Effective range: 300 m. Damage: green bronze tier advanced grade. This gun was also very famous. This was because its common name in his hometown was Hanyang. It was also the predecessor of Kar 98K. Zhou realized. It also had twice the initial velocity and effective range of the original. Then he looked at the next gun. Equipment name: MP18 submachine gun. Equipment grade: green bronze tier advanced grade. Capacity: 32 rounds. Bullet speed: 760 meters per second. Bullet specification: 9 by 19 millimeters. Effective range: 300 m. Damage: green bronze tier advanced grade 18. It was the founder of the submachine guns in the history of the Cerulean planet. After it reached his hometown, it was also known as the flower mechanism. In the end, he looked at the last and only white silver tier elementary grade gun. Equipment name: MG08 Maxim heavy machine gun. Equipment grade: white silver tier elementary grade. Capacity: 250 rounds. Bullet speed: 1,800 meters per second. Bullet specification: 762 by 57 millimeters. Effective range: 4000 m. Damage: green bronze tier advanced grade. Whether it's the bullet's initial velocity, effective range, or capacity, it's way better than the first 3 guns. As expected of a white silver tier elementary grade gun, Zhou clicked his tongue in wonder. After that, he chatted with the military industry lord for a while. The military industry lord gave Zhou a few manuals on how to use these guns. After that, the 2 of them stopped chatting. Zhou looked at the world channel and realized that the other lords were not sleepy at all. They were all talking about the myriad races lord battlefield tomorrow. Zhou thought for a moment. He opened the marketplace and set up a transaction. In this transaction, he placed 6,000 class change certificates for 3 types of soldier types and 8,000 black iron and bronze skill books. The price was half of the previous auction price. This was because the price of these skill books was much higher during the auction. Half of it was the real price of these skill books. Moreover, these skill books were produced by the monster ranches every day. They were still unable to exhaust all these skill books internally with the current size of the Blazing Sun Army. Since that was the case, it was better to sell a portion of these things when the lords needed them the most. This way he could earn more miscores. The lords on the world channel also quickly saw Zhou's new deal, and quickly pushed it to the first place. More than an hour later, Zhou opened his transaction and realized that all his things had been sold. He glanced at the transaction results. Trade result: 15,506,000 black iron tier miscores. It's a huge profit. Zhou sighed. After confirming that he didn't forget to do anything, he returned to his bedroom to sleep. Chapter 152 Upcoming Event. Summoning Subjects. The next day, it was past 3 in the morning. In the master bedroom, Zhou opened his eyes. He was in a daze for a moment before he immediately focused. The Myriad Races Lord Battlefield event is about to begin today. Zhou took a deep breath and opened the world channel. He realized that most of the lords in the world channel had woken up early like him. The first official lords event is about to begin. I'm trembling with excitement and anticipation. Are you sure you ain't scared? What's there to be afraid of? It's just an event. It's not like it's a novice lord test. How can anyone die? I wonder if I can skip this event. This is the first event released by the Supreme Will. The possibility of escaping shouldn't be high. I only have about 300 military professionals under me now. I wonder if I can do this activity. I wonder what the reward for the event is. Which people of foreign race am I going to meet on the battlefield? This Lord's event will be the first step to my rise. Dragon Lady Lord. Members of the Dragon Blood Alliance. If you discover anything abnormal later, immediately explain in the group. Overlord Lord. I wonder what the flesh of the people of foreign races taste like. Undead Lord. It seems like the people of foreign races are joining my undead army. Zhou turned off the World Channel and patted his face to cheer himself up. He got up from the bed and walked out of the residence, prepared to summon today's new subjects after a simple wash-up. However, he saw Leah and her maid standing not far away as soon as he went out. Good morning. Zhou was stunned for a moment before saying politely, Good morning, my lord. Leah smiled gently. Do you usually wake up so early as a princess? Zhou walked over and asked curiously. That's not it. Normally I won't be up for about another hour or two. But I heard from someone that today seems to be an important day for the Lord. So I couldn't resist getting up early to take a look. My lord, please don't take offense. Leah said. It's okay. It's not a secret. Zhou smiled. Leah nodded and asked curiously. Is General Wu coming back later? Zhou acknowledged. I haven't seen General Wu since he resigned. I wonder how he is now. Leah sighed. Don't worry. Old Wu is still strong. His essence, qi, and spirit are even stronger than before. Zhou smiled. Then I want to see General Wu with my own eyes later. Leah smiled. Zhou nodded and did not chat further. After bidding her farewell, he came to the gate of summoning. A text notification appeared. Prompt. Do you want to summon immediately? Yes, Zhou said. The next second, the gate of summoning suddenly lit up with a bright white light. Then the subjects walked out one after another. A moment later, the 189 new subjects walked out of the gate of summoning. Greetings, my lord. X-189. The 189 new subjects said respectfully. Welcome to Blazing Sun City, Zhou said. Then, he asked all the professionals to stand up and realized that he had summoned a total of 18 military professionals this time. He began to check their interface information. A moment later, the inspection was completed. Among these 18 military professionals, there was one white silver tier elementary grade medicine cultivator, one white silver tier elementary grade cavalryman, and one white silver tier elementary grade scout. In addition, there were 2 green bronze tier advanced grade merchants, 3 green bronze tier intermediate grade sword shield soldiers, 2 green bronze tier elementary grade carpenters, 2 black iron tier advanced grade doctors, 3 black iron tier intermediate grade farmers, and 3 black iron tier elementary grade blacksmiths. I'm lucky today. Zhou was a little surprised. He didn't expect to have 2 beginner soldiers within the 3 white silver tier elementary grade subjects. One must know that even Bai Yun was only at white silver tier elementary grade. These 2 newcomers would directly become the top combat power in his territory. He nodded satisfied. Then Zhou asked someone to take them to Zhengyuanqi to arrange their respective placements, and went to the golem lair to summon 126 golems. Zhou looked at these golems satisfied. This golem lair was pretty good indeed. It gave him 6 white silver tier golems every day. With their racial advantages, the other 120 golems were basically able to leapfrog the ranks. At the current stage, it was better than the Gate of Summoning. However, with subsequent growth, the Gate of Summoning, which can be continuously upgraded combined with the effects from the title of the Glory of the Pioneer, would sooner or later surpass this non-upgradable golem lair. Then Zhou left. A moment later, figures appeared outside the city gate. It was Wu Xian, Bai Yun, Nazario, and a total of 10,000 professional soldiers. Other than that, Zhou also saw the boss of the Ox Demon clan Atu, and a group of clansmen behind it. Greetings, my lord. Bai Yun, Wu Xian, and Atu greeted Zhou. Zhou acknowledged. My lord. This subordinate brought about 300 brothers to work. Are so many workers required in the miniature iron mine of my lord? Atu asked. Don't worry. They are required. Elder Zheng, get someone to arrange for their life and work in the Blazing Sun City. Zhou instructed Elder Zheng by his side. Yes, my lord. Zheng Yuanqi said respectfully. Come with me. He smiled at Ah Tuesday. Ah Tu nodded and followed Zheng Yuanqin into the blazing sun city. General Wu. At this moment, Leah brought her maid along with her. Long time no see. General Wu's demeanor remains the same. She smiled lightly. Your Highness is here? Wu Exine was very surprised. He immediately guessed that she must be here for his lord. He had already arranged everything when he resigned, so she probably would not look for him suddenly. Leah nodded with a smile when he told her his theory. Then she looked at Wu Exine, as if she had discovered something. Her expression suddenly became hesitant. She became even more bewildered, especially when she saw Bai Yun next to him. General Wu, why do I feel an aura similar to that of Uncle Zhang and the others on your body? She asked doubtfully. Oh, I have become a hero like your Uncle Zhang and the others thanks to my lord's blessing. Wu Exine said with a smile. Li Ya's mouth fell slightly agape. Became a hero? How is that possible? General Wu only left her father's side for how long? Probably not even half a month. How did he become a hero in such a short period of time? She came back to her senses in no time. General Wu, congratulations on getting what you want. Leah seemed like she wanted to continue on, but she didn't. She only sighed in her heart. If what General Wu said was true, that he became a hero because of this lord beside her, he would probably not return to the Aurora Kingdom with her to continue serving her father knowing him. There was no need for her to try to persuade him, lest she discussed both General Wu and the Lord of the Blazing Sun. This must be the other hero of the Blazing Sun City, Bai Yun the Bloodfire Arrow Elf, right? Princess Leah greets your excellency. Leah saluted slightly. Your Highness, you are too kind, Bai Yun said respectfully. Emotions were surging through her heart. She was just an inconspicuous soldier before she joined Blazing Sun City. Who would have thought that she would actually be able to make the Aurora Kingdom princess treat her with respect today? She could not help but look at Zhou before retracting her gaze. Zhou also saw her gaze. However, he did not think too much about it. Bai Yun, Elder Wu. Something big will happen in the territory in 2 hours. Time is tight, so I won't say much. Let's go to the monster ranches first. Zhou said. Yes, my lord. The two of them said in a low voice. Then, the three of them swiftly led 10,000 military professionals towards the monster ranches. Chapter 153 White Silver Tier Elementary Grade. The Lord's Attribute Panel. 1. Zhou looked at the monster ranches in front of him. There were already 7 monster ranches. 5 of them had each nurtured 1,500 ranch monsters. Therefore, there were a total of 7,500 ranch monsters. Zhou followed his old rules and asked Nazario to release its dragon might to intimidate these ranch monsters after that. Then, he asked the soldiers and Soul Reaper to start destroying them. Soul Reaper Maris had already advanced to Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade. With the ability of Soul Harvest, all monsters below the Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade could be instantly killed. Zhou looked at its kill notification. Your subject Maris has killed an elite Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade Wild Sand Believers. Promotion Energy plus 20. Loots condensed. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Maris has obtained an additional 40 promotion energy points. Zhou nodded in satisfaction. It felt good to use the blessing of the War God. Killing one was equivalent to killing 3. 5 minutes later, just as nearly a third of the 7,500 monster ranches were killed, Zhou suddenly felt a gentle energy appear in his heart and surge into various parts of his body, strengthening his body and soul. I've broken through. I'm finally at the White Silver Tier Elementary Grade. He closed his eyes and immersed himself in the feeling of advancement. A moment later, he came back to his senses. After a while, Soul Reaper Maris had advanced to the Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade. Then, Bai Yun had also advanced to the White Silver Tier Intermediate Grade. In the following period of time, many soldiers were also promoted during the slaughter. Many Green Bronze Tier and even Silver Tier soldiers appeared. When there were only more than 1,000 of these 7,500 ranch monsters left. Roar! A dragon roar sounded. Nazario flew into the air and conveyed a joyful emotion to Zhou. At the same time, fire elemental torrent surged over from all directions and surged into its body. Its body also began to quickly grow to a height of 20 meters. After a long time, the fire elemental torrent disappeared. Nazario's growth finally stopped. At this moment, Nazario had already advanced to the white-silver tier advanced grade. Moreover, its body had already grown to a height of 25 meters. It would be as tall as a 6 to 7-story building if it was on the cerulean planet. It soared freely in the sky and displayed the violent aesthetic figure of a top-notch bloodline creature. It was a wonder in the eyes of everyone, especially Li Ya, who was here for the first time, and the maid beside her were completely stunned. "Your Highness, it's a dragon," the maid Yu Qiao said in fear and shock. "It's a pure-blooded dragon." Li Ya's eyes lit up. After a long time, she retracted her gaze and looked at Zhou Zhou, who was not far away. First, General Wu Xian became a hero. Then he has a pure-blooded dragon under his command. How many more methods has this lord not revealed? Li Ya could not help but think. Zhou Zhou looked at Nazario and sighed. A white-silver tier advanced grade Nazario was already so terrifying. How ridiculous would its size be when it grew to the legendary tier? A moment later, these 7,500 ranch monsters were all dealt with. Zhou Zhou took out 8 conquerors' blast furnaces and asked the soldiers to transport the corpses and begin to retrieve the loots. Half an hour later, all the loot had been extracted. Under the effect of the perfect loots, he obtained a total of 36,142 green bronze tier mist cores, 16,540 white silver tier mist cores, and 1,424 yellow gold tier mist cores other than the +1 monster flesh, skill book, potion formula, poison sac, black scorpion poison crossbow, and other normal items. 6,112 soldier type class change certificates. 1,950 Sandcorps Summoner Class Change Certificates, 1,062 Sword Shield Soldier Recruitment Books, 951 Pudeo Soldiers Recruitment Books, 1,112 Poison Crossbow Soldier Recruitment Books, 4,452 kilograms of light drawing crystal. During the collection of the loots, Zhou Zhou brought people into the time ruins again and obtained the loots for the day. Then he looked at the loots and opened the marketplace to set up a transaction. After which, he threw in 6,000 soldier-type class change certificates, 8,000 desert fog lizards, black-tailed fog scorpion, sandman, wild sand believers, and the skill books and equipment dropped by the Sandcorps summoners. The rules were the same as before. Each lord could only buy a maximum of 10 items. This could also prevent his goods from feeding a powerful enemy. The effect of such restrictions would be weakened as the Lord alliances developed. However, no matter how weak it was, he was the one who benefited the most. Therefore, he was not worried about selling them. That's the mode from now on. Sell them hot from the stove, Zhou Zhou thought. He summoned Bai Yun and asked her to check on the advancement of the soldiers after that. She soon finished the inspection and returned to report to Zhou Zhou. "I've something to report, my lord. A total of 1,164 people advanced just now. 620 of them have advanced to the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade and Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade. 538 people advanced from Black Iron Tier to Green Bronze Tier. In addition, 16 people have advanced to the White Silver Tier Elementary Grade. We now have a total of 2,342 Black Iron Tier soldiers, 642 Bronze Tier soldiers, 26 White Silver Tier soldiers," Zhou Zhou acknowledged. The effect of the blessing of the war god was very obvious. This number of advancements was at least 3 to 4 times higher than usual. Then, he went to the gate of summoning and threw in all the recruitment books he had just obtained. Soon, recruits walked out of the gate of summoning one after another and stood neatly behind him. Chapter 154 White Silver Tier Elementary Grade. Lord Attribute Panel. 2. A moment later. 1,062 Sword Shield Soldiers, 951 Pudeo Soldiers, 1,112 Poison Crossbow Soldiers, 384 Elemental Archers, and 12 Elemental Bowmen appeared behind him. Including the military professionals and golems I recruited from the Insight defection in Thorn City yesterday, And the soldiers who died in yesterday's battle? I now have a total of 17,254 soldiers under my command. Zhou nodded slightly. He had so many soldiers: the Aurora Kingdom Towers, the 2 battle resurrection scrolls, and the 70,000-odd Abyss contract books. He finally had some confidence in the upcoming activities in the Myriad Races Lord battlefield. In addition, he had originally wanted to keep the Abyss contract book to deal with the Demon Lord Artina. However, he suddenly remembered that the Abyss seemed to be a place that emphasized bloodline. He was afraid that the demons he summoned would become the other party's helper. So he changed his mind and did not use these Abyss contract books in the final Supreme Challenge. He did not expect that it would become one of his trump cards to deal with the activities in the Myriad Races Lord battlefield. Then Zhou found Bai Yun. Yesterday I bought a batch of weapons suitable for musketeers. They're already in the warehouse. Get the musketeers to master this weapon as soon as possible. These weapons are much better than the muskets in their hands. If you discover that there are also soldiers with talent in using such arms among the other soldiers, you can also make an exception and let them use them, Zhou said. There was no threshold to use the 4 firearms. Subjects of any strength and soldier type could use it. This should be the greatest advantage of the Cerulean planet's arms. Yes, my lord. Bai Yun agreed respectfully. Zhou acknowledged. Then, he handed the 1000 Sandcorp Summoner class change certificate to the other party. You can choose 1000 soldiers to change classes with these class change books. These are intermediate grade combat class. It would not be a loss to them even though the combat method is a little special, Zhou said. It was also Zhou's first time using this combat class. This intermediate grade combat class was definitely not bad, but he wanted to use these 1000 class change certificates to test the waters first. I think I can let soldiers with some deformities on their bodies change their professions. They can't fight to begin with. They can find hope again with this class. Bai Yun suggested. Sure. Zhou agreed with her. My lord. A shout came at this moment. Both of them froze and turned to look. Bao jogged over with the bag. My lord. My teacher heard that the new wind ceremony she gave you previously was already damaged. That's why she specially rushed to make another one these 2 days. My lord, please see if it's suitable. She handed the bag to Zhou. Zhou took it and took a look. He realized that it was still the green bronze tier intermediate grade new wind ceremony. I'm already at the white silver tier elementary grade. Zhou smiled. Bao was stunned for a moment before she subconsciously said, Then I'll tell my teacher today and ask her to create another white silver tier elementary grade new wind ceremony. There's no need to go through so much trouble. This green bronze tier intermediate grade version is good enough. Zhou shook his head. What he valued the most was the flying ability of the new wind ceremony. The rest didn't matter as long as he could fly. How can that be? Wouldn't the new wind ceremony made by teacher become a flying toy then? What should we do about my lord's safety? I'll go back and tell teacher today. Let teacher make another white silver tier elementary grade new wind ceremony. My lord, don't worry. Teacher will work hard. She's now a white platinum tier elementary grade tailor. Making a white silver tier elementary grade equipment is as easy as eating lunch. Bao said curiously. Zhou stopped rejecting. Then he walked out of the city and looked at the growth rate of the light drawing crystals. It had been constantly absorbing the energy of the sun over the past 3 days. Currently, more than half of the light drawing crystal has turned from the original pale white to black. It had officially advanced to a white silver tier construction material, the light origin stone. This caused the original sand crystal city wall to be renamed as the light elemental city wall. Moreover, the city wall level had also advanced from green bronze tier advanced grade to white silver tier elementary grade. However, the only flaw was that there were too few light origin stones. Otherwise, if they were all exchanged for light origin stones, it was even possible to directly advance to the white silver tier advanced grade city wall. However, there was no choice, since that was the best they could do for the light drawing crystals after all. At this moment, he suddenly received a notification that the transactions had been completed. Zhou opened the marketplace and looked at the transaction results. Trade result: 15,208,800 black iron tier mist cores. He nodded. It was similar to yesterday's. Then, Zhou returned to the residence and took out a large pile of white silver tier elementary grade skill books to learn. He changed all his green bronze tier advanced grade skills for white silver tier elementary grade skills. Then he changed into a set of Fire Demon Fog Wolf outfit, took out the white silver tier elementary grade Sandman Scepter, and a green bronze tier intermediate grade New Wind Ceremony. I can finally use this Sandman Scepter. He looked at the scepter in his hand with emotion. This scepter had been in his hands for a long time. However, he had never been able to use it because of the level he needed to activate it. Then Zhou opened his Lord Attribute panel. Lord Title, Lord of the Blazing Sun. Combat Class Name, Martial Artist, Strength Level, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Martial Arts Manual, Dark Water Mystic Technique, White Silver Tier Advanced Grade, Gust Blade Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade, Territory Name, Blazing Sun City, Territory Level, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Regional Territory, Blazing Sun Desert, Black Iron Tier, Sand Goldland Black Iron Tier, Thorn Dune Black Iron Tier, Territory 30,000 m times 30,000 m times 5000 m, Lord Talent, King of Loots, Mythical Tier Unique, Gnome Alchemy Workshop, Monster Ranches White Silver Tier, Insight Defection, Peace and Prosperity Diamond Tier, Return to the City Black Iron Tier, Mysterious Caravan Yellow Gold Tier, Master Thief's Robbery Gloves Legendary Tier, Blessing of the 10 Gods Territory Buildings, Lord's Residence, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Gate of Summoning, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Imperial Ancestral Temple, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Race Talent, Elementary Grade Mental Potential, White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade, Blood Pool, Diamond Tier Advanced Grade, Embrace, Diamond Tier Advanced Grade, Chaos Physique Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade, Equipment, Fire Demon Fog Wolf Outfit, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, New Wind Ceremony, Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade, Emperor of Sand Spatial Ring Special, Void Mask Special, Sandman Scepter, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Skills, Sand Stealth White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Racial Skill Mental Manipulation Enhanceable, Racial Skill Mental Perception Enhanceable, Racial Skill Bloodbat Form, Diamond Tier Advanced Grade, Racial Skill Blood Boiling Technique, Diamond Tier Advanced Grade, Sand Trap Technique, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Deadly State Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade, Sandification, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Summon Sandman Lord, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Summoning Wild Sand White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Swimming Mastery Gradeless, Water Spear Technique, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Deep Water Stealth, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Deep Water Heal, White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Shrieking Howl White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Soul Roar White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, Mist Cores, 46,952,875 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores, 176,050 Green Bronze Tier Mist Cores, 49,326 White Silver Tier Mist Cores, 2,776 Yellow Gold Tier Mist Cores, 152 White Platinum Tier Mist Cores, Origin Crystal. 13 Zhou nodded in satisfaction. His Lord stats could be said to be luxurious, especially the Mist Core column. If the other Lords of the World channel saw this, they would probably be dumbfounded. More than an hour later, when it was 6 in the morning, 4 lines of golden text appeared in front of Zhou. It also appeared in front of all the lords who had been waiting for a long time. Supreme Will Notification. The rest period is over. The first official Lord event, the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield, is about to begin. All official lords, please be prepared. Boom! All the lords of the Myriad Races were in an uproar. Chapter 155 The Start of the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield. Ranking begins. Introducing the rules of this event. This event will last for 10 days. During this period, a Lord Battlefield function will be added to the list of functions of the Lords. The Lords need to log into the Lord Arena and choose between the Lord Battlefield of your race and the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield to participate in the Lord competition obtain ranking points, and complete the respective Lord setting tournament. 10 days later, a Lord whose rank has increased to at least Bronze tier and passed the fixed stage competition will be regarded as completing the basic activity goal of this event. He will obtain the corresponding rank reward and rank title. 10 days later, Lords who can't complete the basic activity goal will automatically lose their status, memories, and everything else. One day in the future, they will walk out of the gate of summoning and become the subjects of other Lords of the same race. The higher the rank of the Lord, the better the reward and title. Among the Lords of the same race, the Lord with the highest rank, Myriad Races Lord Battlefield, will obtain the reward of the strongest Lord rank and the title of the strongest Lord. Among the Lords of all races, the Lord with the highest rank, Myriad Races Lord Battlefield, will receive the reward of being the strongest Lord of all races and the title of the strongest Lord of all races. Your Lord Battlefield function has been added to the Lord function. Your initial Lord rank is Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade. You have obtained 3 Black Iron Tier Territory Rebirth tokens, exclusive to the Lord Battlefield. You have automatically obtained 1 ranking. Automatically increases by 1 every day. Jojo looked at the Lord function. On the rightmost side of the Lord's personal information, Cerulean Planet Lord's World Channel, Cerulean Planet Lord's Marketplace, Legendary Tier Reputation Ranking, and Friend List, there was an additional Lord Battlefield function. Jojo was not in a hurry to turn on this function. Instead, he read the rules of the event carefully. He had completely understood the basic rules and muttered to himself a moment later. So it'll be fine as long as my rank reaches at least Green Bronze tier in 10 days. It will depend on my ability to compete for the reward and title of the strongest Lord. Thinking of this, Jojo felt that he could fight for the reward and the title of the strongest Lord with his strength. However, he would not underestimate the other Lords. Even though his Lord talent was very strong. However, his recent experience told Jojo that the Lord talent did not determine everything. This world had many fortuitous encounters and opportunities. For example, the inheritance of the Emperor of Sand, the Golem Lair, and special loots like the Soul Reaper recruitment books. These things were not inferior to many higher-level Lord talents or even to mythical tier Lord talents. If he felt that he could be invincible in the world with his mythical tier Lord talent, then his vision would be too short. Jojo was naturally not that kind of person. Don't think too much about it. Let's complete the basic goal first. Jojo retracted his thoughts. He did not want to become those subjects who walked out of the gate of summoning, losing his Lord status memories. What was the difference between this and death? He did not even think about the reward and the title of the strongest Lord of all races. He knew his limits. He could not defeat those top-notch Lords of races. He might be able to catch up to those top Lords of the race in the future, but now, he should just obediently fight for the reward and title of the strongest Lord among his own race. He stopped thinking and opened the Lord Battlefield interface. He saw 5 interfaces. They were the Lord Battlefield of your race. Myriad Races Lord Battlefield, the Final Battlefield, Battlefield Ranking, and Battlefield Shop. Jojo clicked on them all. He realized that other than the fact that the Final Battlefield would only be activated 7 days later, the others could be opened. Moreover, he realized that he could actually form a party to battle in the Lord Battlefield of your race and the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield. However, there could only be 3 people ranked at most, including the person who started the party. It would not work if there were too many. What a strong visual sense of a MOBA 1 game. Jojo complained in his heart. It would be complete if it had matching and random battle functions. The Battlefield Shop was the function he was most interested in. Jojo opened the Battlefield Shop and looked at the goods sold there. Battlefield Shop, Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade. 1. Gate of Summoning Reset Card. Remaining purchases. 10. Price. 1 Black Iron Tier Territory Token. 100 Designated Black Iron Tier Basic Military Professionals. Remaining purchases. 10. Price. 1 Black Iron Tier Territory Token. 310 Designated Black Iron Tier Basic Lifestyle Professionals. Remaining purchases. 10. Price. 1 Black Iron Tier Territory Token. 4. Black Iron Tier Resurrection Token. Exclusive to the Lord Battlefield. Remaining purchases. 10. Price. 1 Black Iron Tier Territory Token. 5. Black Iron Tier Territory Rebirth Token, exclusive to the Lord Battlefield. Remaining purchases, 10. Price 3 Black Iron Tier Territory Tokens, 6. Rank +1, remaining purchases, 1. Price, 5 Black Iron Tier Territory Tokens. Prompt. The goods in the battlefield shop will also refresh and become higher level and more valuable goods as the Lord rank continues to increase. He studied these items. The Gate of Summoning reset card could allow the Gate of Summoning to be reset. From there, he could use the Gate of Summoning a second time to summon subjects or even more times on the same day. There was no need to mention the second and third rewards. It was just a reward that directly increased the number of territory professionals. Fourth reward, Black Iron Tier Resurrection Token. It could be used to resurrect the designated 100 subjects who died in battle in the Black Iron Tier Lord Battlefield. Fifth reward, Black Iron Tier Territory Rebirth Token, exclusive to the Lord Battlefield. After he was defeated, he could restore all the subjects in destroyed territory facilities, including himself, to their previous state. However, it could only be effective on the Black Iron Tier Lord Battlefield, and could not be used on lords above Green Bronze Tier. Sixth reward, Rank +1. As the name suggested, his rank would increase by 1 if he used it. His current lord rank was Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade, and it would become Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade if he were to use it. We would need a territory token to buy the things inside. Isn't this encouraging us lords to constantly go out to fight during the event? Zhou sighed. Then he looked at the territory token he owned. After 2 days of conquest, he still had 2 Green Bronze Tier territory tokens and 9 Black Iron Tier territory tokens. He could barely be considered rich. He could buy a few more Black Iron Tier Resurrection tokens and Black Iron Tier Territory Rebirth tokens. How can I rise in ranking? Zhou was puzzled. At this moment, a notification appeared. Lord of All Races Event Hint. During the event, every territory conquered by a lord in reality will obtain a different number of ranking rewards according to the level of the territory conquered. It's really encouraging us to go out and fight. Zhou complained silently. He stopped thinking about it and walked out of the residence to let Bai Yun and the others prepare for battle. Then he looked at the Lord Battlefield interface. After looking at the Lord Battlefield of your race and Myriad Races Lord Battlefield, Zhou chose the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield without hesitation. A text notification appeared. Matching with your queuing opponent. Match successful. Entering the battlefield. Chapter 156 Go for Lord Nord. Advancement. When the text notification, entering the battlefield, appeared, Zhou's body suddenly became illusory before quickly disappearing. The next second, the world in front of him suddenly changed and he arrived at a floating island in the sky. He was surrounded by clouds that were within reach. The island was very neat and was covered in immaculate white bricks. It looked like an arena. At this moment he was standing on the city wall of Blazing Sun City. Behind him were empty buildings. In the distance he could vaguely see a rough mud castle standing there. The powerful sixth senses from the Chaos human bloodline allowed Zhou to vaguely see black figures moving there. At this moment, a text notification appeared. You have entered the Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade battlefield. Your opponent and you have been randomly assigned to the Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade battlefield. Sky Island. Your opponent is the Gopher Lord Nord. Condition to defeat the enemy. Kill all the enemy forces within 24 hours. If you exceed the time limit, both sides will earn negative battle results. Ranking -1. You have 10 minutes to deploy your forces. Countdown. 9 minutes. 59 seconds. Time was ticking away. A white virtual screen appeared in front of Zhou. It displayed the forces he could deploy. He glanced at it and realized that almost all the subjects under his command were included in the faction units displayed on it, including his 17,254 military professionals, Bai Yun, Wu Xian, Nazario, Soul Reaper Maris, and other professionals. Even ordinary subjects without profession could be summoned by him and deployed on Sky Island. Zhou felt relieved. It seemed that he did not have to worry about not being able to unleash his combat strength after the battlefield changed. Then, he summoned all the subjects with combat strength and even Bai Yuejing and the other doctors. Greetings, my lord. After Bai Yun and Wu Xian climbed up the city wall, they immediately said respectfully to Zhou Zhou, "Get ready. This is the battlefield where we will deal with the forces of the people of foreign races. They're a lord faction from the Gopher race. We have to destroy all the other party's forces within 24 hours. Only then can we leave as victors." Zhou Zhou said. "Yes." The two of them said respectfully and led the way. Then Wu Xian began to arrange for the soldiers to climb up the city wall and set up defenses. He also activated the Aurora Kingdom Tower and prepared to attack at any time. Bai Yun looked at the battlefield for 2 seconds and frowned. This kind of terrainless battlefield depends on the strength and advantage of both sides. "Let's go all out," Zhou Zhou said in a low voice. He did not feel relaxed. The myriad races Lord battlefield had just begun. At this moment, there would definitely be a mix of good and bad lords participating in the Lord battlefield. He might encounter very weak lords, but it was also possible that he would encounter top-notch lords of races like the Dragon Lord, the Titan Lord, and the Demi-Lord. The reason why he challenged the myriad races Lord battlefield the moment he arrived and not the Lord battlefield of his race was because firstly, he still had the territory rebirth token and could trial and error. Secondly, if he wanted to obtain the title of the strongest lord, he had to achieve the best results among his race in the Lord battlefield. Under such circumstances, every ranking opportunity was precious. That was why Zhou Zhou chose the myriad races Lord battlefield immediately. The Gopher Lord opposite him did not sound like much. However, it might be a top lord of the Gopher race. Therefore, Zhou Zhou did not dare to underestimate it. Soon Wu Xian finished deploying all the soldiers. Another 5 minutes passed. A text notification appeared. "Deployment time has ended. The Lord War has begun. It's starting," Zhou Zhou said. At the same time, his gaze was fixed on the distant castle. "Everyone get ready," Bai shouted. "Yes," everyone said angrily. Their voices shook the world. Time passed, but both Zhou Zhou and the Gopher Lord opposite him did not make any moves. Zhou Zhou was not anxious at all. There were 24 hours. He had complete patience to stall the other party. However, if the other party did not come out in 6 hours, Zhou Zhou planned to let Nazario go directly to the other side to take a look. Under such circumstances, he had no intention of hiding his strength. More than an hour later, Zhou Zhou suddenly heard a rustling sound from the ground. "Do you hear anything?" He frowned. Bai Yun and Wu Xian looked at each other and shook their heads. Nazario growled and looked at the ground coldly with its scarlet dragon eyes. "The enemy is underground," Zhou Zhou immediately said. "All long-range soldiers, apply the Blood Eye potion immediately." Bai Yun realized something and immediately ordered. After the 7,333 long-range soldiers heard the order, they immediately took out a bottle of Blood Eye potion and smeared it on their eyelids. The next second, they were shocked to see dense red dots rushing towards the ground of Blazing Sun City. There were 6,000 to 7,000 of them. All long-range soldiers, immediately shoot freely and destroy all the enemies underground. Bai Yun ordered decisively even though she was surprised by their numbers. With that, she took out her bow and arrow and shot 5 firevine arrows into the ground. The other long-range soldiers also shot arrows to attack. Their arrows shattered the bricks and shot into the ground with their powerful strength. At this moment, Soul Reaper Maris' soul had already flown out. It flew underground and began to harvest the souls of these gophers. Kill notifications quickly appeared. Your subject Bai Yun has killed a green bronze tier elementary grade gopher. Promotion energy plus 20. Loots condensed. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Bai Yun has received an additional 40 promotion energy points. Your subject Zhang Qianhe has killed a black iron tier intermediate grade gopher. Promotion energy plus 4. Loots condensed. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Zhang Qianhe has obtained an additional 8 promotion energy points. Your subject Soul Reaper Maris has killed a green bronze tier elementary grade gopher. Promotion energy plus 20. Loots condensed. Blessing of the War God. Your subject, Soul Reaper Maris, has obtained an additional 40 promotion energy points. At that time, many gophers were killed accompanied by a large number of screams from the depths of the ground. Black blood gushed out from the ground. It dyed the originally neat and clean ground into a terrifying black. This group of gophers wanted to bypass the defense of the city wall from the ground and attack us from within. Nice try. Wuxia walked over and chuckled. Zhou also smiled and nodded. This city wall was built by Zhao Changshu, a veteran architect. How could he ignore tunnels? Therefore, Zhao Changshu had already built an underground city wall when he was building the city wall to prevent the enemy from entering the city through digging tunnels. Other than that, he also placed a water jar at intervals on the inner edge of the city wall and a clay urn underground. He also got people to specially guard the vicinity. When the water in the water jar rippled or heard any movements through the underground pottery urn, one would discover that a life form was digging a tunnel underground. This was done to resist this method of digging tunnels to attack the city. This was the most ordinary method to prevent the tunnel from attacking the city. It was said that in the big city of the Aurora Kingdom, there were even monster trainers who specially raised a monster called Ground Listening Dog to listen to the movements underground and kill enemies from underground. The effect was even better than this. A moment later, all the gophers which came to launch a sneak attack died underground. Soon, a corpse of a gopher was dug out and brought to Zhou. He looked at the corpse. Item name: Gopher's corpse. Item level: Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade. Item effect: a corpse of a foreign race that is about to dissipate. Item description: fog monster killed by the soldiers of Blazing Sun City. Prompt: in a minute, this corpse will disappear and revive in the other party's territory. Loot's drop rate: no loots. Zhou raised his eyebrows. This was the first time he had encountered such a situation. However, he immediately understood the reason why there were no loots when he saw the notification. It was the territory rebirth token. Its current death would not be considered a true death because the other party had the territory rebirth token to revive, which was why this situation happened. The situation should be different if both its territory rebirth token and resurrection token were used up. He stopped thinking about it. Zhou looked at the Gopher clan's castle in the distance. He thought for a moment and looked at Soul Reaper Maris. Get rid of all the enemies that can be dealt with inside. Zhou said. Yes, my lord. Maris bowed slightly in its soul state and flew straight into the castle. Soon kill notifications sounded one after another. Zhou looked at these kill notifications. Suddenly, a different kill notification appeared in front of him. Your subject Soul Reaper Maris has killed an intermediate green bronze tier intermediate grade gopher lord. Lord Nord. Promotion energy plus 40. Loots condensed. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Soul Reaper Maris has obtained an additional 80 promotion energy points. A smile appeared on Zhou's face. The other party's lord had been killed by him. Then this competition was set. He looked at the black bloodstains all over the ground below the city wall, and suddenly felt a little emotional. He did not expect the foreign race he met to be so strong. There were 6,000 to 7,000 gophers. This was already comparable to the strength of the top lords of the Cerulean planet. The strength of the myriad races Lord Battlefield was indeed high. A moment later, a golden text notification appeared as the last Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Gopher was killed. You have defeated the Gopher Lord, Lord Nord, Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade, and obtained victory in this competition. Congratulations, you have advanced to the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade in the Myriad Races, Lord Battlefield. You need to participate in at least one ranking competition every 3 days. Otherwise, your rank will -1. Your Battlefield shop has been updated. I've advanced. Zhou nodded in satisfaction. Chapter 157 Index of All Races. Book 1. A Fight Between Immortals. When Zhou saw that he had advanced, he did not stay any longer. He chanted return and left the Lord Battlefield with everyone. At the same time, millions of kilometers away from Blazing Sun City, under a rough and simple mud castle, Lord Nord's body trembled and it suddenly woke up from its bed. I actually lost my first battle. Its eyes were filled with disbelief. It could only be considered one of the lowest ranking amongst the endless top-notch Gopher Lords, but it was also a genuine top-notch Gopher Lord. Its strength naturally could not be underestimated. Originally, It was very confident that it could rely on this myriad race's Lord Battlefield event to become the strongest lord among the top Gopher lords. However, it never dreamed that it would actually lose in its first battle. Moreover, it had lost to the human race. In the past, they were known as the Gopher Calamity and humans could only flee in front of them. It had bathed in glory for a long time. When has it ever suffered such grievances? It had just used all the rewards from the Novice Lord test. Then Lord Nord recalled the scene it had just seen. It could not help but tremble, fear appeared in its eyes. It remembered the scene where it could only watch helplessly as its subjects fell silently in front of it without even being injured. It could not even touch their shadows and could only wait for death. It felt a lingering fear even now. Why is my luck so bad? I encountered such a big pervert the moment I entered. Lord Nord cursed. Then it looked at its territory rebirth token. That was indeed the case. There were only 2 left. This made it even more helpless. Then it looked at its ranked emotion notification. I'm only at the Black Iron Tier elementary grade. It shouldn't be able to drop anymore, right? It muttered. Then it was immediately dumbfounded when it saw the rank. Gopher Race, Lord Nord's ranking. -1 rank. Ranking on the Myriad Race's Lord Battlefield. Not included in the ranking. Blazing Sun City. After Zhou returned with his men, he let the soldiers rest while he returned to the Lord's residence. In the living room, Zhou opened the battlefield shop in the Lord Battlefield. In the end he realized that other than the previous things, there was something new inside. 7. Index of all races, Book 1. Remaining purchases. 1. Price. 1 Black Iron Tier territory token, Index of all races? Zhou raised his eyebrows. Then he opened the item's information. Treasure name. Index of all races, Book 1. Treasure grade. Black Iron Tier, treasure effect. A former mythical tier treasure. It records the detailed information of the races that are born and destroyed at all times in the myriad worlds. It can be used to search for the race information you want to know. Treasure description. Originally a mythical tier treasure, but it was split into 10 volumes by the Supreme Will, and is used to enlighten the lords of all races. Prompt. The Index of all races is divided into 10 volumes. The first lord to collect all 10 volumes will obtain the complete mythical tier treasure, the Index of all races. Zhou exclaimed after reading it. It took a mythical tier treasure and forcefully split them just to enlighten the lord about the races? Only an existence like the Supreme Will could do such a prodigal thing, right? Then, Zhou spent a Black Iron Tier territory token without hesitation to buy the Index of all races. Book 1. This thing was naturally very useful to him. Or rather, it was very useful to all the lords who aspired to reach the top of the Lord of all races. With it, in the future when he faced other lord races that he had never seen before, at least he did not have to worry that he would suffer a loss in terms of information because he did not understand the other party's race. For example, in his first lord competition today, if he had known that Gopher's burrowing ability was so strong, he would not have to wait for the Gophers to approach before sensing their movements. Instead, he would have asked Bai Yun to lead the military professionals to apply the Blood Eye, ready to kill the Gopher enemies who dared to approach them at any time before the battle began. A thick book with a dark brown surface appeared in Zhou's hand out of thin air. The moment he obtained the book, the method of using it appeared in his mind. Zhou willed and the appearance of the Gopher race that had just been killed appeared in his mind. As a weak energy surged into the Index of all races, Book 1, the next second, the book lit up slightly before calming down. Zhou sensed that the thick book in his hand had loosened, so he flipped it gently to the first page. A vivid image of a gopher was drawn on the first page. Beside it was its racial information. Gopher race. A gopher race from the mud world. In the primordial world, they have the title as a creature of natural disaster. They grow and reproduce extremely quickly. As long as there's enough energy, they can quickly grow and reproduce. In order to satisfy the energy needs, they wantonly expanded the scale of their race in the mud world, plundered and devoured the various resources and turned them into their own energy. Later on, the Supreme will summon them to the high continent. So the gopher race is so powerful. Zhou clicked his tongue in wonder. Then, he did some experiments and tried the Index of all races, Book 1, on all the races he had seen and heard of. In the end, he successfully learned many secrets about many races. It's indeed good stuff. Zhou looked at the Index of All Races, Book 1, in his hand and was very satisfied. Then he stopped experimenting and opened the battlefield ranking. What greeted his eyes were two items. One was the Lord Battlefield of Your Race ranking, and the other was the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield ranking. Zhou opened both and took a look. Cerulean Planet Human Race, Lord of the Blazing Sun. Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade, Lord Battlefield of Your Race ranking. Excluded in the ranking, Cerulean Planet Human Race, Lord of the Blazing Sun. Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade, Myriad Races Lord Battlefield ranking. 1,807,446,425,216th. Oh my fucking god. There are 1,807 billion lords who gained the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade so quickly? Zhou clicked his tongue. However, he was not surprised. There were 6 billion human lords from the Cerulean planet alone. There would be many billions of lords if they combined all the races. To be honest, there was luck involved for him to be ranked at this position. He did not know how many Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade lords there were behind him. Then he looked curiously at who the top 3 lords of all races were. Original Spirit Race True Tier, Yellow Gold Tier Advanced Grade, Myriad Races Lord Battlefield ranking. First, Chaos Gods Race, Great 1 Tier, Yellow Gold Tier Advanced Grade, Myriad Races Lord Battlefield ranking. Second, Extreme Dragon Race, Extreme Venerable Tier, Yellow Gold Tier Intermediate Grade, Myriad Races Lord Battlefield ranking. Second, a fight between immortals. Zhou sighed after reading it. Chapter 158. Am willing to call you the strongest in terms of thick-skinnedness. Zhou quickly became puzzled again. How did their ranks increase so quickly? Logically speaking, didn't all of them, who had just joined the battlefield of the lords of all races, only have one chance to rank? For example, the fact that this true lord of the original spirit race could advance to a yellow gold tier advanced grade lord in such a short period of time meant that it had completed a total of 12 rankings in less than 2 hours. Where did its remaining 11 ranking opportunities come from? He pondered a moment and had a guess. The other party had probably begun to attack the territories of many foreign race lords or scarlet lords before the Myriad Races Lord battlefield started. After the event began, these attacked territories were quickly conquered, giving these top-notch lords many chances to rise in ranks. That was why the ranks of these top lords were raised so high in such a short period of time. I'm afraid it won't be long before the first mythical lord is born, Zhou thought. Honestly, while he knew that the difference between him and these top-notch lords might be huge, he did not expect it to be such a huge gap. He was only at the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade, while others were already Yellow Gold Tier Advanced Grade. He shook his head and stopped thinking about it. He was a little shocked, but he was still very confident in his future with his mythical lord talent. After that, he opened his friend list and opened Linger's chat to type. Lord of the Blazing Sun. Are you ranked? Spiritual Medicine Lord. Brother, I've just finished. Wow. I encountered a group of cute slimes. Spiritual Medicine Lord. But I still got the soldiers to kill them. Lord of the Blazing Sun. Yes, well done. Don't pity the enemy. Being kind to them is cruel to yourself and your subjects. Spiritual Medicine Lord. Yes. Brother, how's it going on your side? You must have one too, right? Lord of the Blazing Sun. Yes, the victory went quite smoothly. When Zhou wrote this, he suddenly pondered for a few seconds before typing. Lord of the Blazing Sun. Let's team up in the future. The two of us together will have a higher chance of winning. Spiritual Medicine Lord, but I'm relatively weak. I might be a burden to you. Lord of the Blazing Sun. Why are you still talking about this when you're already calling me brother? Just listen to me. Spiritual Medicine Lord. Thank you, brother. You're the best. Lord of the Blazing Sun. Okay. Zhou's decision was not without reason. During this period of time, Linger had been sending him all kinds of medicinal herbs every day. An increasingly larger amount of them. His soldiers were growing extremely quickly, but he had never worried about a shortage of potions even under such circumstances. The most important reason was that the amount of medicinal herbs Linger provided had never disappointed him. Moreover, the Lord of all Races battlefield had already begun. Not only did their cerulean planet lord need internal competition, but the pressure on foreign race lords from outside also began to increase. He knew that it was difficult to hold on alone. He could not be the only strong cerulean planet lord. He needed more allies. He could not count on the other lords, and he had never expected to count on them. Zhou was already familiar with Linger. As a legendary tier lord talent holder, and his godsister, he currently felt that she was someone he could nurture as an ally. That was why he proposed to help her in a duo. Her support ability was very strong while her combat strength was still relatively weak. Working together could complement each other. Then he began typing again. Lord of the Blazing Sun, during this period of time, try your best to get the soldiers to conquer a few foreign race territories or scarlet territories and obtain some territory tokens. This way you can exchange for the goods in the battlefield shop. Lord of the Blazing Sun. I've seen the things inside. They're quite good. Spiritual Medicine Lord. Yes, brother, I know. I've already conquered the territories of 3 Scarlet Lords. I've been planning to defeat the regional lord in my area recently. Zhou was stunned. Then he could not help but shake his head. He seemed to treat the other party as a child and wanted to instruct her about everything. However, Linger was a very smart girl in her own right. She could think of whatever he could think of. Lord of the Blazing Sun. I don't think I've ever seen you say anything on the World Channel. Don't you sell the medicinal herbs you nurtured in the marketplace? Spiritual Medicine Lord. The herbs in my herb garden are enough for you alone. Lord of the Blazing Sun. You don't have to do this. Your lord's talent is very strong. You can make a name for yourself in the exchange under the premise that you don't expose yourself. This way you can earn more miscores to allow you to develop better. Lord of the Blazing Sun. If possible, you can collect more potion formulas and medicinal herb seeds on the World Channel. You won't be able to use them now, but you will one day. Spiritual Medicine Lord. Alright, I'll listen to you. Then, the two of them chatted for a while before ending the conversation. Zhou looked at the content of their conversation and felt a little pressured. Linger relied too much on him. He did not refuse this dependence, but he felt that this reliance was not good for Linger. Still, I can't set the expectation for a little girl like I would an adult. She's already done a great job. Zhou shook his head. Then, he opened the World Channel to see the reactions of the lords. However, Zhou was stunned when he saw the first sentence from the lords. Why is the Lord ranked -1? Is -1 rare? I'm -2. Crying. Don't tell me that we have climbed up the negatives rank by rank. Probably. Fuck. I thought that we can afford to lose a few rounds since we can fight a few more times and would definitely be able to reach the green bronze tier if we are lucky. Won't we die directly if we lose a few rounds in a row? Why would the Supreme will leave such a thing for us to take advantage of? Why are these foreign race lords so abnormal? There are many lord friends in my friend list who couldn't defeat the foreign race lords and directly became negative ranking. This might be evil, but I would still suggest that lords who are not confident in their strength fight our own kind if they are not too good. The battlefield of foreign race lords is not something ordinary lords can fight. I'll start. Everyone, let's do it. Top-notch lords have the boldness of top-notch lords indeed. I just looked at the rankings of the lords of the same race and realized that most of the top-notch lords are not on the rankings. They should have gone to fight the lords of all races battlefield. I saw it too. I didn't expect the Night Lord to be ranked first on our rankings. The Night Lord is really thick-skinned. Ha 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 ha, the Night Lord really has the cheek to sit in this position. Did he ask the Lord of the Blazing Sun, the Dragon God Lord, the Overlord Lord, the Dragon Lady Lord, and the others? Night Lord. I relied on my strength to sit in this position. What right do you have to criticize me? If you have the ability, come up and squeeze me out. If the Lord of the Blazing Sun and the others don't sit in this position, why can't I? You're quite thick-skinned to say that. I'm willing to call you the strongest in terms of thick-skinnedness. Night Lord. Zhou thought for a while before remembering this person. When the Cerulean Planet Lord first descended on the High Continent, This person became famous for a few days because he revealed on the World Channel that he had the Diamond Tier Lord talent, Night Hall, which could nurture combat spirit knights. Later on, the Dragon Lady and the others rose one after another. This person gradually faded from the vision of the other lords. Later on, this person seemed to have established a Knight Council and become famous again when the alliances had just gained in popularity. However, Zhou did not pay much attention to him. He did not expect him to become famous again today. However, the way of gaining popularity, Zhou shook his head. He had to start an internal strife instead of showing his diamond tier talents against the foreign race lords. He did not agree with this method. Nonetheless, everyone had their own choices. Zhou could not interfere, nor would he interfere for no reason. At this moment, he saw a few different lord comments that made him narrow his eyes. Storm Lord. The Night Lord is thick-skinned, but not as ruthless as the Lord of the Blazing Sun. The Night Lord is only fighting against his own kind on the battlefield, but the Lord of the Blazing Sun has actually attacked our human compatriots in reality. Moreover, this isn't the first time. Everyone take a closer look. With that, the other party even put up a screenshot of his friend list. It showed the name of the Thorn Lord. However, this name had already dimmed. Storm Lord. Poor brother Thorn Lord. He died tragically under the hands of the Lord of the Blazing Sun just like that. There were many comments below that echoed his words. I could tell what kind of person the Lord of the Blazing Sun was from the moment he took down Lord Mighty. I'm not surprised that he did such a thing now. The Lord Battlefield is cruel, but there's no need to be so cruel to your own kind, right? Killing him just like that? My condolences. Everyone, you must be careful of the Lord of the Blazing Sun. Wouldn't he attack more Cerulean planet lords next time if he could attack Lord Mighty and the Thorn Lord today? No way. No way. There are still people clearing Lord Mighty's name now? Zhou looked at the Storm Lord's name. He knew this person. Thorn Lord had mentioned this person's name when he first told him about the conspiracies. This person was said to be one of the initiators of the Sun Extermination Association, scheming to deal with him. Looks like the Thorn Lord hasn't taught them a good enough lesson. They still want to deal with me, Zhou thought. As for the reason why the other party defamed him and spread the threat theory of the Blazing Sun, he could imagine it even with his toes. He was probably afraid that he would fight him one day. So he wanted to use this method to attract more lords to join his Sun Extermination Association and increase their strength and alliance. This way, he could take the initiative to deal with him after accumulating strength. Thinking of this, Zhou's expression turned cold. Chapter 159 Ancestral Blessing. Purchasing the ancestor statue. Zhou had never thought of killing lords of the same race. Take the Thorn Lord for example. He was living well in Sand Gold City. Zhou did not even separate him from his subjects. He had peace and prosperity after all, so he was never worried that his subjects would rebel, and was especially tolerant of them. He might even take the initiative to make them constantly become stronger. He didn't expect someone to have a death wish. After thinking for a moment, he decided to ignore these clowns for the time being. This group of people might be annoying, but the activity in the Myriad Race's Lord Battlefield was still the most important. He knew very well what to prioritize. My main goal now is to conquer more Lord factions and obtain more rankings and territory tokens. Also, I can't allow these people to continue slandering me. Zhou thought for a moment. Then he found Bai Yun, Wuxia, and the others and asked them to gather 12,000 military professionals together. Wuxia, I have a heavy responsibility for you, he said solemnly to Wuxia. My lord, please instruct me. Wuxia immediately said respectfully. I want you to bring these 12,000 military professionals to the east of Thorndune and conquer the 2 green bronze tier territories, the Blackrock Desert and the Silent Wasteland. This time Bai Yun Nazario and I won't go with you. This task is for you and the soldiers to undertake, be it to eliminate the fog monsters or the Scarlet Lord. Are you confident enough? Zhou said solemnly. The Blackrock Desert and Silent Wasteland were the 2 green bronze tier regional territories that Wu Tu had explored when making the map. Normally speaking, white silver tier fog monsters and Scarlet Lords would appear in the green bronze tier regional territory, at most. Wuxian was not only a yellow gold tier advanced grade, he was also an extraordinary tier hero. It was naturally easy to deal with monsters of this level. This was also why Zhou dared to entrust this important task to him. My lord, don't worry. I will definitely return with victory. Wuxian agreed without hesitation. Remember to bring Elder Bai and the other doctors along, Zhou said. The doctors in his territory had the ancestral enhancement, essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies. There would be casualties once the war began. These doctors would display their skills at such times. Yes, Wuxian said respectfully. Wait for a while before setting off. I will wish for a blessing from the ancestors for you, Zhou said. Yes, my lord, Wuxian said respectfully. Zhou nodded and walked towards the Imperial Ancestral Temple. In the main hall of the Imperial Ancestral Temple, Zhou stood in front of the statue of Ancestor Sun Simiao and looked at the altar in front of him. A text notification appeared. Ancestral Altar. Offer 10 sacrifices of value below the white silver tier mist core to the ancestor before a war, and you will obtain the ancestral blessing. A random temporary war enhancement effect. Prompt 1. The higher the level of the cerulean planet's ancestor statue, the higher the value of the offering required, and the stronger the ancestral blessing effect obtained. Prompt 2. The Lord can only have one type of ancestral blessing at any one time. 10 white silver tier mist cores in exchange for a temporary ancestral blessing. It's not expensive. Zhou searched through his spatial ring for a long time. He did not know which loots were worth exactly 10 white silver tier mist cores. In the end, he simply placed 10 white silver tier mist cores on the altar. I wonder if Ancestor Sun Simiao will find my offering too vulgar? Zhou was a little nervous. Soon the altar lit up slightly. Then the 10 white silver tier mist cores on it disappeared. Zhou heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that Ancestor Sun Simiao was not picky about offerings. At this moment, a text notification appeared. You have obtained an ancestral blessing. Physical injury restoration. White silver tier war gain. Physical injury restoration. White silver tier war enhancement. Increases the recovery speed of physical injuries by 5% sustained by the Lord's subjects. Duration 24 hours. Zhou nodded. 5% did not sound high, but Zhou instantly felt comfortable when he thought about how it would cover all his subjects. He now had more than 20,000 subjects under his command. A blessing that covered so many people was already quite shocking. I need more ancestor statues of the cerulean planet, Zhou thought. He opened the marketplace and began to set up a transaction. A moment later, the setup was completed. The transaction was as follows. Trade name. Deal with the Blazing Sunlord, trade goods. 100 yellow gold tier mist cores. Trade requirement. I only want the ancestor statue of the human race from Cerulean planet. I prioritize the statue of Ancestor Sun Simiao. Remarks. You can private message me if you're not satisfied with the price. The setup was completed and he published the transaction. Soon the ranking of this transaction began to rise rapidly. After a while it became the post with the most views. The Lords on the World channel were also discussing this deal. However, most of them said they had no ancestor statue of the human race on the Cerulean planet. Zhou did not receive any private messages from anyone. Instead, many onlookers asked him what the effect of the ancestor statue was. Zhou did not reply and closed the marketplace channel. It seemed that he could only take his time to buy the ancestor statues. Then, he bowed 3 times to Ancestor Sun Simiao and left the Imperial Ancestral Temple. At the same time, Wuxian and the others could already feel the difference in their bodies outside. Is this the ancestral blessing requested by the Lord? Wuxian said in surprise. At this moment, he even felt that the old injuries on his body were recovering slightly. The restoration was very slow, almost like a drop in the bucket, but he was indeed recovering. It was the same for the soldiers. They had followed Zhou through many battles and had long accumulated many injuries. These injuries could not be completely healed in a short period of time. They could only slowly recuperate and recover. And now they also felt restoration accelerating for these injuries. At this moment, Zhou also walked out of the Imperial Ancestral Temple. My lord, we can already feel the effect of the ancestral blessing. Wuxia sighed. Elder Wu, are your injuries recovering too? Zhou was a little surprised. The injuries on Wu Xin's body were caused by a scarlet hero. Is this also within the range of the restoration? Wuxia nodded. Seeing this, Zhou valued the ancestral blessing even more. However, he suddenly felt helpless. The effects of the ancestral blessing appeared at random. It was physical injury restoration this time, but it might not be the same next time. We can't rely on the ancestral blessing to treat Elder Wu's injuries. I can let Elder Bai take a look when we come back. Zhou thought. Bai Yuejing was now in charge of the essential prescriptions worth 1,000 gold for emergencies. There was a chance of getting a hint from Ancestor Sun Simiao when treating difficult illnesses. Perhaps he could treat Elder Wu's injuries. Then he stopped thinking about it. After Wu Xian led the troops out, he and Bai Yi sat on Nazario's dragon back and flew towards Sandgold City. He wanted to let the Stormlord and the others from the Sun Extermination Association know what it meant to reap what they sowed. Chapter 160. The Sun Extermination Association is dead. Head to the Sunshine City. A moment later, Zhou and Bai Yi rode on Nazario to Sandgold City. When Qin Jiangsheng and Zhang Kaishan found out that Zhou had arrived, they immediately came to greet him. Greetings, my lord. Greetings, Legion Commander Bai. The three of them said respectfully. Where's Zhang Yud? Zhou nodded and went straight to the point. Zhang Yud. Qin Jiangsheng thought for a while and quickly remembered. My lord, Zhang Yud originally wanted to be an ordinary subject after coming to Sandgold City. However, he understood our military merit exchange system and directly joined our army. He should be in the barracks now. Qin Jiangsheng said respectfully. Take us to him. Zhou said. Yes, my lord. Legion Commander Bai, please follow me. Qin Jiangsheng walked in front of the two of them and led the way. Zhou followed with Bai Yun. Seeing that, a moment later, at the barracks in Sandgold City, Zhou and Bai Yi quickly found Zhang Yud under Qin Jiangsheng's lead. He was training with the other soldiers in the arena at the moment. Qin Jiangsheng immediately called him over. Greetings, my lord. Zhang Yud was a little confused at first, but he immediately said respectfully when he saw Zhou. How are you doing in Sandgold City? Zhou looked at him and said. Very good. I feel much safer than when I was a lord. Zhang Yud could not help but grin. He could not help but sigh when he recalled being a lord. At the same time, he regretted being obsessed with being a lord. Wasn't it good to be a soldier in Sandgold City now? Not only could he enjoy the protection of the Lord of the Blazing Sun, he also did not have to worry about matters of the Lord all day long. Moreover, he did not have to worry about the Supreme Will constantly targeting him, nor did he have to worry about any people of foreign races attacking his territory. This life was simply like a safe immortal compared to his previous days as a lord. He was living quite comfortably now, especially with the military merit exchange system for the soldiers. Zhou acknowledged. Then, he told Zhang Yud what had happened on the World Channel. Zhang Yud was stunned for a moment before he immediately said angrily, I'm not dead yet. These people actually cursed me to death? Please tell me what you need me to do, my lord. I'll definitely cooperate with you. He was now a subject under the Lord of the Blazing Sun. He naturally knew which position he should take now. It's nothing serious. Just post a proof of life video of yourself. Zhou said. That's easy. Zhang Yud immediately agreed. Zhou acknowledged. Then, he turned on the recording function of the World Channel. A moment later, a transaction with the Lord of the Blazing Sun appeared in the marketplace again. This transaction was special because it was free. Others could choose to buy it and obtain the goods inside without paying any price. This product was a video. It was Zhang Yud's proof of life video. After this transaction appeared, it quickly surpassed the previous transaction because it involved the recent commotion of the Lord of the Blazing Sun killing a lord of the same race. It was pushed to the #1 spot in the transaction viewership. After these transactions were widely circulated by the lords on the World Channel, there was immediately a huge commotion among the lords. Yulin City. Zhang Yulin had just finished his ranking match today. and was resting when he saw Zhou's deal. A video? And it's for free. The Lord of the Blazing Sun actually gives out free deals? He was subconsciously surprised. Then Zhang Yulin bought it curiously. After he opened the video, it was pointed at a normal-looking middle-aged man who was a little short, cursing and swearing. Chun Haobin, you motherfucker, The Lord of the Blazing Sun clearly didn't harm me and even made me a subject in his territory, but you're cursing me to my death? Lords, don't be deceived by the Storm Lord and the others. I'm still fine. I'm doing very well. And those lords who want to become enemies with the Lord of the Blazing Sun because of their territory problems, I know you value your status as lords very much. I was the same back then, but I realized that there are too many powerful lords in this world. To be fair, can you really match up to top lords like the Lord of the Blazing Sun, the Insect Lord, and the Dragon Lady Lord? There are many paths in the world. There's no need for us to fight to the death on one path, let alone a path that can cost us our lives at any time. Let's give up your dangerous lord status and become adventurers or other professions. We will definitely be able to go far. Finally, welcome everyone to the Sand Gold City. The benefits here are very good. If you don't believe me, you can come and inspect it before making a decision. You won't be disappointed. It is really not a lie, even though it sounds like fake publicity. If you still insist on becoming enemies with the Lord of the Blazing Sun, then we'll be mortal enemies when we meet the next time. The video stopped abruptly. The video was short, but Zhang Yulin already understood the general situation. So this group of people from the Sun Extermination Association wanted to deliberately slander the Lord of the Blazing Sun, so they spread the news that the Thorn Lord was killed by the Lord of the Blazing Sun. So exciting! Zhang Yulin was a little excited. Battles between the human lords of the Cerulean planet happened from time to time after they relocated to the High Continent, but these lords who were fighting among themselves were all unknown lords. The other lords would not pay attention to these small matters, even if they really happened. This was because everyone had long known that internal strife was inevitable. Lords of the same race were often the easiest to deal with compared to the unknown foreign races after all. Therefore, while such matters were often discussed on the World Channel, none of them would do anything about it. No one really took it seriously. However, it was different for the Lord of the Blazing Sun, the Dragon Lady Lord, and the Overlord Lord. In the eyes of lords like Zhang Yulin, they were equivalent to public figures or even celebrities on the Cerulean planet. Commoners would always demand and criticize public figures with higher moral standards. That was why the matter of the Lord of the Blazing Sun killing a lord of the same race caused an uproar. Speaking of which, Zhang Yulin realized that this was a big deal, and immediately opened the World Channel to share this matter. Then, he saw that many lords on the World Channel were also talking about this. I'm disgusted because I really thought that the Lord of the Blazing Sun had killed a lord of the same race. I even added the Storm Lord as a friend and comforted him. Me too. I even scolded the Lord of the Blazing Sun. Fuck. Will I be blacklisted by the Lord of the Blazing Sun? I don't think so. The Lord of the Blazing Sun isn't a robot. How can he watch the World Channel all the time to blacklist people? A person who uses our sympathy is so disgusting. Lord of the Blazing Sun, I'm sorry. I take back the bad things I said to you previously. Sorry +1. I don't believe that this person is the Thorn Lord. He has no evidence. Don't believe him. Perhaps this person is an actor hired by the Lord of the Blazing Sun. It's the Thorn Lord. I've made a transaction video with him before. He looks like this. Indeed. I've already seen several good friends of the Thorn Lord, proving that he is indeed the Thorn Lord himself. This is really ridiculous. In the Sun Extermination Association group chat, the lords in the group chat were already panicking. I'm done for. More than 700,000 lords suddenly added me as a friend. They were all scolding me when I saw their notifications. Me too. I've also been scolded by many people. Stormlord, don't panic. What they say doesn't affect us at all. It's just a verbal attack. The threat of the Lord of the Blazing Sun is real. Don't forget our original intention of gathering together. I won't be a lord at most. Isn't the Thorn Lord living well? That's right. The Lord of the Blazing Sun doesn't seem to be as scary as I thought. I'll give up my status as a lord and become an adventurer or seek refuge with the Lord of the Blazing Sun if it comes to it. The Thick Earth Lord has left the group chat. Little Day's group master has left the group chat. In the territory of the Storm Lord. The Storm Lord saw these 2 notifications to leave the group just as he was fuming about 2 traitors who had appeared among his allies. He was stunned, then his heart ached immediately. He did not have many lords in the Sun Extermination Association to begin with, only 8 lords remaining after these 2 left. However, it was not over yet. Another 5 lords left the Sun Extermination Association after a while. In the blink of an eye, there were only 3 lords, including himself, left in his Sun Extermination Association. As for these 3 lords, they were the 3 lords who had founded the Blazing Sun Society together. Seeing this scene, and the hundreds of thousands of friendly words from his friend request list, the 3 of them could not help but feel that the Sun Extermination Association was finished. At the same time, in Sandgold City, "My lord, how is my video?" Zhang Yit asked smilingly. "Everything is fine other than it being too vulgar." Zhou chuckled. He felt very comfortable now. The Sun Extermination Association could not no longer cause much trouble even if they did not perish this time. While he did not care about these enemies to begin with, it was also very satisfying if he could stop these guys from jumping around and talking nonsense. "I did some self-media when I was on the Cerulean planet," Zhang Yit said embarrassedly. Zhou acknowledged. Then he asked Qian Jiangxing to reward the other party with some military merits. He left with Bai Yun in surprise. On the way, "How's the clearing of the monsters near the Sand Gold Land recently?" Zhou asked casually. "My lord, don't worry. We've already cleared all the fog monsters near Sandgold City. Currently, many merchants and even caravans from Blazing Sun City and Fish Spring Town have already begun to come to our Sandgold City to trade through the trade route. Things are looking up," Qian Jiangxing said. Zhou acknowledged. Then he chatted with him for a while more before riding on Nazario again and flying in the direction of the Yellow Gold Tier Regional Territory, Sunshine City. He wanted to buy a batch of Yellow Gold Tier Aurora crystals and change all the Aurora Kingdom Towers in Blazing Sun City to Yellow Gold Tier Aurora Kingdom Towers. At that time, he would not be too worried even if he encountered stronger opponents in the Myriad Race's Lord Battlefield. Chapter 161 Yellow Gold Tier Aurora Crystal and White Platinum Tier Aurora Crystal. Half an hour later, Zhou and the others arrived at the outskirts of Sunshine City. He let Nazario fly in the sky so that it would not expose itself while he paid attention to Bai Yun and his surroundings. Then the 2 of them arrived at the entrance of Sunshine City. He saw the city gate. People came and went, bustling with activity. "What a lively scene. There are so many people," Bai Yun exclaimed. Zhou acknowledged. As expected of a Yellow Gold Tier regional territory of the Aurora Kingdom, it was indeed much livelier than his Blazing Sun City. However, his expression was very calm because he believed that his Sand Gold City would definitely be even livelier than this place in the near future. The 2 of them were scanned with the Scarlet Fog Detector at the city gate. They successfully entered Sunshine City after confirming that the 2 of them were not fog monsters in disguise. After entering the city, the 2 of them could not help but be attracted by the bustling scene in the city. However, they did not forget their business and only took a few glances before heading straight for the administrative hall. A moment later, in one of the reception rooms of the administrative hall, Zhou and Bai Yun sat together. On the other side was the city lord of the Sunshine City, Wu Balian, who had just arrived. He was wearing general armor and had a stocky build. He had a beard and a scar that covered half of his face. This did not make him ugly. Instead, it gave him the might of a fierce general. However, Zhou and Bai Yun were not ordinary people, so they naturally ignored this might. "So you're the Lord of the Blazing Sun? I've heard a lot about you. May I know why the 2 of you are suddenly visiting?" Wu Balian smiled. "City Lord Wu, you're too kind. We're here for no other reason than to buy some Yellow Gold Tier Aurora crystals from you." After Zhou finished speaking, he took out the Aurora crystal trading contract that Leah had given him. Wu Balian began to frown after hearing Zhou's words. He had a bad feeling when he took out the Aurora crystal trading contract. Wu Balian read the contract and immediately fell silent. Zhou and Bai Yi could tell that something was wrong with his expression, but neither of them said anything. A moment later, Wu Balian was the first to shake his head. Lord of the Blazing Sun, logically speaking, I should sell you Aurora crystals with this Aurora crystal trading contract. But recently, the 4th Legion of the Taiyan Kingdom is attacking my Sunshine City and the surrounding 16 regional territories of the Aurora Kingdom. As a result, most of the Aurora crystals in our hands have been provided to the front line. Therefore, our supply of Aurora crystals is also very tight. So please forgive me for not being able to sell you the Aurora crystals in our hands, Wu Balian said. Even though Zhou had a premonition, he still felt a little helpless when he heard him say this. It's okay. City Lord Wu has his own difficulties. Then may I ask where the closest yellow gold tier regional territory is? I can exchange it there. Zhou quickly adjusted his mentality and asked. I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you, Lord of the Blazing Sun. The nearby yellow gold tier and above regional territories are now fighting the Scarlet Legion of the Taiyan Kingdom. They might be in a worse situation than me. They probably won't trade the Aurora crystals with you, my lord. However, more than 3,000 kilometers south is a diamond tier territory of our Aurora Kingdom, Golden Age City. That place is inland of the Aurora Kingdom and is temporarily unaffected by the war. You should be able to buy high-level Aurora crystals there if you urgently need them, Wu Balian said. Zhou frowned slightly. How long would this round trip take? He could use the return to the city talent to save time if he was alone. However, he still had Nazario and Bai Yi with him. Return to the city could not bring them back. Actually, I have another idea. But whether you can get what you want will depend on you, Lord of the Blazing Sun. Wu Balian pondered for a few seconds before saying, as if seeing the dilemma on Zhou's face. What is that? Zhou immediately asked. The Aurora crystal comes from the Aurora race's body and is the source of their life. At the same time, it can also be used to drive the energy of certain special weapons, such as the Aurora Tower. Our country allows our subjects to offer their corpses to the kingdom after they die, because it's a strategic resource that concerns the safety of the kingdom. The country will also give such subjects' families a large compensation. In addition, we will confer glory onto these honorable subjects. Right now, there is a batch of yellow gold tier and white platinum tier honorable subject corpses in the Sunshine City vault. If the Lord of the Blazing Sun believes in your luck, you can try to extract the loot from these corpses and see if you can extract the Aurora crystals you want. But it's more expensive. Every yellow gold tier honorable subject corpse costs 1 white platinum tier mist core, and every white platinum tier honorable subject corpse can only be bought at the price of 1 diamond tier mist core. This is the price whether or not you are able to extract the Aurora crystal or not. I wonder if the Lord of the Blazing Sun is willing to accept it? Wu Balian asked. He had originally thought that the Lord of the Blazing Sun wouldn't accept such harsh conditions. But he did not expect that his eyes lit up and agreed immediately. Okay, Wu Balian. But I can only buy Aurora crystals of yellow gold tier and below, right? Zhou asked doubtfully. Yes, however, it's fine as long as it is not a ready-made Aurora crystal, and only the corpses of white platinum tier honorable subjects, Wu Balian said. Zhou acknowledged. A moment later, in the Sunshine City vault, the corpses of 312 yellow gold tier and 112 white platinum tier honorable subjects are here. They were all soldiers of our Aurora Kingdom when they were alive. They chose to offer themselves up after they died. Lord of the Blazing Sun, you can take a look. You can retrieve the corpses' loots, but please don't do anything that would defile the corpses. Wu Balian pointed at the corpses of these honorable subjects. Of course, Zhou acknowledged. Then, he looked at the corpses and quickly saw that these corpses were different from the other corpses. The corpses of these honorable subjects had actually turned pale white and transparent. Moreover, their corpses seemed to have shrunk and looked very small. In addition, there was a faint white light on their foreheads. Zhou immediately thought of Princess Leia of the Aurora Kingdom. There was something similar between her eyebrows, however. Hers was a white prismatic crystal. These corpses had white light spots. Zhou did not think too much about the difference. He looked at the corpses of one of the honorable subjects. Item name: Feng Yes corpse. Item level: yellow gold tier. Item effect: contains unextracted loots. Item description: the corpse of an honorable subject made by the Aurora Kingdom with a special potion. It can preserve the Aurora crystal energy in the corpse to the greatest extent. Moreover, the corpse can be preserved for a year. Prompt: this corpse will turn into fog and be reborn at a certain time in the future in 2 hours. Loots: yellow gold tier Aurora crystal. Drop rate: 5%. There's only one type of loot? Zhou raised his eyebrows. Is this the price of preserving the energy of the Aurora crystal for a long time? He speculated but did not ponder too long about it. Why are these corpses left here? Shouldn't you try extracting the Aurora crystals early? Zhou asked curiously, not in a hurry to extract them immediately. According to the kingdom's rules, under normal circumstances, these corpses can only be extracted when the lucky person arrives, Wu Balian said. Zhou's expression was strange. This was not the first time he had heard of the profession lucky person. It was the same when he bought the Conqueror's blast furnace last time. It seemed that the people of the High Continent believed in metaphysics in this aspect. After that, Zhou planned to extract the Aurora crystals from the corpse. He said that using the metaphysical method to extract the loots makes it inconvenient for others to see. Wu Balian believed this reason easily. He left the Sunshine City vault after reminding him again not to do anything rude to the corpse. Zhou did not waste any time. He directly began to retrieve the loots. A moment later, Zhou walked out of the Sunshine City vault. "I'm done," he said. Wu Balian nodded and was about to walk into the Sunshine City vault to check how many corpses had been extracted. He froze as soon as he entered. All the corpses of the honorable subjects in the Sunshine City vault disappeared. "You've extracted them all?" Wu Balian turned to look at Zhou in a daze. Zhou acknowledged. He looked at the spatial ring. There were 312 yellow gold tier Aurora crystals and 112 white platinum tier Aurora crystals in his spatial ring. "I can build a white platinum tier Aurora tower when I return," he thought in satisfaction. Chapter 162: Increase in Ranking. Zhou's request. "You're so rich." Wu Balian could not help but sigh. The corpses of so many honorable subjects were worth a lot. Zhou smiled and said nothing. Wu Balian would not have said that if he knew his gains. But then again, the corpses of these honorable subjects were indeed expensive. A white platinum tier honorable subject's corpse actually cost a diamond tier mist core, while a yellow gold tier honorable subject's corpse also cost a white platinum tier mist core. It was an entire level higher than their value on the surface. He would have felt that he was being scammed if not for the fact that Zhou knew the importance of Aurora crystals to the Aurora Kingdom. Zhou paid Wu Balian the mist cores as agreed. A total of 1,432,000 black iron tier mist cores were spent on 312 yellow gold tier and 112 white platinum tier corpses. This was naturally nothing to the current Zhou. The mist cores he earned every day far exceeded this number. They did not stay any longer. After saying a simple word to Wu Balian, they bade farewell and left. A moment later in the sky, Zhou and Bai Yi stood on Nazario's back. Nazario, which was already 25 meters tall, could carry 30 to 40 people on its back. Therefore, the two of them looked exceptionally spacious and stable standing there. Moreover, Nazario had used the draconic magic to offset the strong wind blowing at them intentionally, so the two of them felt as if they were standing on flat ground. Zhou stood at the front in silence. When Bai Yi saw this, she could not help but ask curiously, "My lord, are you worried about something? If that's the case, why don't you tell me? I can share my lord's burden." "Nothing, I just thought of something." Zhou came back to his senses and said, "Are you thinking about what City Lord Wu said about the Taiyan Kingdom attacking Sunshine City and the surrounding territories?" Bai Yi asked. Zhou was stunned for a moment before nodding. The Aurora Kingdom borders our territory. If the Aurora Kingdom is breached by the scarlet monsters of the Taiyan Kingdom, when the nest is overturned, no egg stays unbroken. We will definitely be the next target of the Taiyan Kingdom. At the moment, It's very difficult for our territory to withstand the attack of a kingdom-level faction. Moreover, this is a strong Crimson Kingdom, he said. Zhou naturally did not forget that there was a yellow gold tier regional territory of the Taiyan Kingdom, Dark Night Town in the south of the white silver tier Green Forest. As for the reason why the other party did not attack from the direction of the Dark Night Town from the looks of it, was probably because of the natural barrier of the Sandstorm Forbidden Zone. Other than that, Zhou also thought of Li Ye, who was still in his territory. This princess of the Aurora Kingdom had been very polite to him ever since she came to his territory. Previously, he thought that this was because the other party had a good upbringing. Perhaps that was not all from the looks of it. She should be looking for help for her kingdom, and he must be a suitable target for her. I do have the potential to become their helper. But potential is still potential, we are not at the level to help them currently. However, I shouldn't have to worry about the Aurora Kingdom not being able to withstand the attacks for the time being. I'm mainly facing the current battlefield of the lords of all races, but I have to think about this early. Zhou pondered. At this moment, a text notification appeared. Your subjects have conquered a Black Iron Tier Scarlet Lord's territory and obtained 1 ranking. Zhou was stunned. Then the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. It seemed that Elder Wu's operation was going quite smoothly. Half an hour later, they returned to Blazing Sun City. My lord, I want to return to the army and speed up the conquest of those 2 green bronze tier territories. Bai Yi had just jumped off Nazario's back when she immediately said respectfully to Zhou. Zhou looked at her. He guessed that she must have been affected by his words just now. That was why she was so anxious to make this request. Don't be anxious. There's a saying in our hometown. Haste makes waste. We're already developing very quickly. The Aurora Kingdom won't collapse in a short period of time. He comforted her. Yes, but I still want to go. Bai Yi insisted. Then go, let Nazario take you. Your speed should be faster with Nazario around, Zhou said. Bai Yi nodded. Soon she sat on Nazario's back again and flew away with it. Zhou went to look for Zhao Changshu and handed him a 100 cubic meters spatial ring. Elder Zhao. There are 1 million Black Iron Tier Mist Cores, 312 Yellow Gold Tier Aurora Crystals, and 112 White Platinum Tier Aurora Crystals. Elder Zhao, please use them to build the Aurora Towers in Blazing Sun City and Sand Gold City during this period of time. Especially for Blazing Sun City. It's best to build a White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Aurora Tower. Zhou said. A White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Aurora Tower. As long as it could be built. When the time comes, he would have the confidence to get even an extraordinary tier elementary grade invader to retreat if they dared to invade his Blazing Sun City. Yes, my lord. However, I will need to mobilize a portion of the blacksmiths, carpenters, and other lifestyle professionals in the territory to join in if you want to build a White Platinum Tier Aurora Tower. Only then can I complete the construction. I hope my lord can agree. Zhao Changshu asked respectfully. As a high-level architect, he could command ordinary people to build buildings of lower levels with his own ability. However, the higher the level of the building, the more it needed the participation of many living talents. For example, blacksmiths, carpenters, engravers, painters, and other lifestyle professionals. They were all indispensable talents in the construction of high-level buildings. That was why he made this request. Zhou naturally agreed readily. After that, he stopped chatting and went to look for Li Ye. My lord is back so soon? Li Ye said in surprise. I just got back. Zhou acknowledged. I just went to Sunshine City and realized that the situation there, and the area around it doesn't seem to be very good. They seem to have been attacked by the army of the Taiyan Kingdom. He hesitated and said. Li Ye nodded. The Taiyan Kingdom and my Aurora Kingdom have a long-standing grudge. I knew about this before I came. My lord, if you're interested in the war at the kingdom level, you can come with me to take a look when I return. I can guarantee that this trip will not be made in vain. Sure. Zhou thought for a moment and nodded. He was so close to the territory of the Taiyan Kingdom. The Taiyan Kingdom would also become his enemy in the future. Since that was the case, it was good to understand it in advance. A smile immediately appeared on Li Ya's face seeing Zhou agreed to her suggestion. By the way, Your Highness, I wonder if what you said last time about agreeing to one of my requests still stands? Zhou said. Of course. Father's promise will always be carried out. My lord, have you thought of what you want? Li Ya asked. I need an alchemy technician above the yellow gold tier advanced grade. Zhou nodded and said. There was still no alchemy technician who could learn the blueprint of the mist energy cannon until now. That was why he made this request. He would have an offensive weapon in the future Myriad Race's Lord battlefield as long as he could build the mist energy cannon. Chapter 163 Increase rank 23 times. Zhou's anticipation alchemy technician. I'll remember it. I'll go back and tell my father tomorrow. Li Ya nodded. This request was naturally simple to the kingdom. Zhou acknowledged then. The two of them chatted for a while before he returned to the Lord's residence. Li Ya stood for a long time as she watched Zhou leave. Why is Your Highness so polite to this lord? He may be very impressive now, but he's only a small lord. Aren't there many people like him in our Aurora kingdom? Yu Qiao the maid walked over and asked curiously. There are some things you don't understand. Even though he's still very weak, a lord of all races summoned by the supreme will is their greatest advantage. We lords of the High Continent have fought for tens of thousands of years in the High Continent, but not a single lord of all races has been born. The supreme will seems to be disappointed in us now. So it has already vaguely shifted its focus from us to these lords. Under the care of the supreme will, they will grow very quickly. It's possible for them to grow to any extent in the future. We're helping him now, but it might not be too long before this Lord of the Blazing Sun helps us instead. Li Ya explained. Yu Qiao's mouth widened in surprise. In the Lord's residence. After Zhou returned, he entered the bathroom and practiced the dark water mystic technique in the bathtub that was filled with water. During this period, every once in a while, a notification would appear that the rankings in the Lord battlefield had increased. Your subjects have conquered a Black Iron Tier Scarlet Lord's territory and obtained 1 ranking. Your subject has conquered a Green Bronze Tier Scarlet Lord's territory and obtained 2 rankings. Your subjects have conquered a Black Iron Tier Scarlet Lord's territory and obtained 1 ranking. In less than 3 hours, Zhou heard 4 notifications that the number of rankings had increased. Among them, there were 2 Black Iron Tier and 2 Green Bronze Tier Scarlet Lord territories. His ranking had increased 7 times including the time he heard it on the way back. Zhou felt very comfortable listening to it. He wanted to immediately continue his competition if not for the fact that his main force was still fighting outside and had not returned. At this moment, a new text notification appeared. Your subject has conquered a Green Bronze Tier regional territory, Blackrock Desert, and obtained 4 rankings. Zhou sat up in the tub. The Blackrock Desert has been breached? Not bad. Zhou nodded slightly. It seemed that there was indeed hope of breaking through 2 Green Bronze Tier regional territories today. He stopped practicing the dark water mystic technique and he walked out of the bathtub instead. After wiping his body, he put on his clothes and walked out of the residence to a Green Bronze Tier advanced grade dojo in the territory. The dojo master, Li Si, was the Green Bronze Tier advanced grade martial master that Zhou had encountered when he first went to Sand Gold City. Greetings, my lord. When Li Si heard that Zhou was here, he immediately put down his work and came over to say respectfully. Zhou acknowledged. How have you been? He asked casually. Reporting to my lord, everything has been going well recently. The dojo has also developed very smoothly. It is almost full now. Li Si smiled. Zhou acknowledged. My lord. X2 at this moment, 2 familiar and surprised voices sounded. Zhou looked over. He happened to see the cat sisters Aaliyah and Atli. Greetings, my lord. Aaliyah and Atli bowed to him with flushed faces after running over. Long time no see. Have you been cultivating martial arts here recently? Zhou asked. We immediately came here to be apprentices of the dojo after my lord gave us the instructions. The older sister Aaliyah nodded. Not only that, but we will also often go out to hunt fog monsters, the younger Atli said. Zhou looked at their attribute information. He was surprised to discover that they had actually already become white silver tier elementary grade martial artists. This strength was definitely impossible if one did not work hard and hunt many monsters while cultivating martial arts. My lord, is there any work we can do in the territory? Aaliyah asked expectantly. Why don't you return to the Blazing Sun Army? Zhou said. We can, but we're martial artists now. Our fighting style is different from the military professionals. I'm afraid the effect won't be very good if we join. Aaliyah said awkwardly. Then make arrangements with Bai Yun when she comes back. Zhou happily threw this matter to Bai Yun. Yes, my lord. The Aaliyah sisters naturally had no objections. By the way, your gust blade has already been cultivated to the upper limit. Coincidentally, there was a new white silver tier elementary grade martial master in the territory yesterday. The two of you can also learn under him after his white silver tier elementary grade dojo is built, Zhou said. Yes, my lord. The sisters' eyes lit up and said respectfully immediately. Zhou acknowledged. Then he asked Li Si to arrange a martial arts cultivation room for him, and began to cultivate the gust blade in the martial arts cultivation room. He had not practiced this saber technique for a long time. Now was a good time to practice. Under the special stats of the martial arts cultivation room, martial arts comprehension +2, cultivation efficiency +20%, and the additional 20% effect of promotion energy, Zhou quickly felt the difference from his usual cultivation. He seemed to have more inspiration and ideas about the martial arts he cultivated. At the same time, when he was cultivating martial arts, he could clearly feel more promotion energy than usual surging into his body, as his martial arts movements changed. Zhou was addicted to this feeling in no time. At the same time, he had an idea. The green bronze tier advanced grade dojo has such an effect. What about a white silver tier elementary grade one? I can visit more often and master another martial arts technique after that white silver tier elementary grade martial master opens the school. Then, Zhou stopped thinking about it and continued to practice his gust blade. Time passed slowly. Soon, there were only more than 3 hours left until nightfall. At this moment, a line of text suddenly attracted Zhou's attention, who was practicing martial arts. Your subject has conquered a green bronze tier regional territory, Silent Wasteland, and obtained 4 rankings. Zhou stopped. He looked at the notification and could not help but smile. Then he looked at the text notification. During this period of time, there were 5 notifications that the number of rankings had increased. Among them, conquering 3 green bronze tier Scarlet Lord territories gave him 6 additional rankings. There were also 2 black iron tier Scarlet Lord territory that gave him 2 more rankings. Now I can rank 23 times. Zhou thought in satisfaction. With so many rankings, as long as nothing unexpected happened, it was a sure bet that his lord rank would advance to green bronze tier elementary grade. However, this was not what Zhou was looking forward to the most. Today, his Blazing Sun Army had conquered a total of 10 Scarlet Lord territories. Among them, there were 5 black iron tier Scarlet Lord territories, and 5 green bronze tier Scarlet Lord territories, which meant Bai Yun and the others would bring him 10 Scarlet Lord corpses today. So many Scarlet Lord corpses. It should be enough to upgrade another Lord talent even if it doesn't drop a new Lord talent. Zhou thought expectantly. Chapter 164 Trade. White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, New Win Ceremony. If audio player doesn't work, press stop then play button again. 164 Trade. White Silver Tier Elementary Grade, New Win Ceremony. In the Blazing Sun City, Liya and her maid Yu Qiao were taking a walk in the territory. Along the way, she suddenly saw Zhao Changshu, who was gathering people. Elder Zhao, are you going to build new buildings again? Liya walked over and asked curiously. Zhao Changshu thought for a moment. His lord seemed to have intentionally or unintentionally reminded him not to deliberately hide the fact that he wanted to build the white platinum tier advanced grade Aurora Tower. Thinking of this, he nodded in relief. My lord has ordered me to build some white platinum tier and yellow gold tier Aurora Towers in Blazing Sun City and Sand Gold City. That's why I have to gather people now, he said. Liya could not help but frown. White platinum tier Aurora Tower. Wouldn't he need the white platinum tier aurora crystals? How did the Lord of the Blazing Sun obtain it? She was very puzzled. However, she did not reveal anything on the surface. Instead, she smiled and nodded. So Elder Zhao is going to build the white platinum tier elementary grade, or white platinum tier intermediate grade aurora tower? If that's the case, the territories under the Lord of the Blazing Sun will be safe for a long time after the white platinum tier aurora tower is built. As the princess of the Aurora Kingdom, Leah naturally knew how powerful her kingdom-level building was. It was no exaggeration to say that the reason why the Aurora Kingdom had been able to stand firm under the attack of the Taiyan Kingdom for so many years, other than the existence of the 3 extraordinary tier heroes in her kingdom, it was the white platinum tier advanced grade Aurora Tower that covered all the important military regions in the Aurora Kingdom. Moreover, the white platinum tier advanced grade Aurora Tower could be rebuilt. They were even more important than extraordinary tier heroes in war to a certain extent. However, what Zhao Changshu said next completely stunned the Aurora Kingdom princess. It's not to build the white platinum tier elementary grade or intermediate grade Aurora Tower. I am going to build the white platinum tier advanced grade Aurora Tower for the Lord. Zhao Changshu shook his head. You've been promoted to a white platinum tier advanced grade architect? Leah was stunned for a moment before saying in surprise. No, I'm already a diamond tier elementary grade architect. Zhao Changshu said. Leah was stunned for a long time before she suddenly said anxiously, wouldn't you be able to build a diamond tier elementary grade Aurora Tower instead then? I haven't had the opportunity to build it yet, but there shouldn't be a problem. Zhao Changshu chuckled. Leah was deeply shocked. Elder Zhao, Leah requests that you return to the Aurora Kingdom. In recent years, the Aurora Kingdom has not been in a good situation. Not only do we have to face the threat of the Taiyan Kingdom, but we also have to guard against the people of foreign races in the north. You know about all of this. As long as you're willing to return to the Aurora Kingdom and take charge of the construction of the Diamond Tier Elementary Grade Aurora Tower, I can promise you that Father will definitely give you a status and treatment that's not inferior to an extraordinary tier hero. Leah begged seriously. The White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Aurora Tower could face an extraordinary tier expert head-on. The Diamond Tier Elementary Grade Aurora Kingdom Tower welcomed a qualitative change and would directly have the power to kill extraordinary tier experts. The strongest expert of an ordinary kingdom-level faction was only an extraordinary tier expert. If the Aurora Kingdom had a large number of Diamond Tier Elementary Grade Aurora Towers, its military strength would directly increase by 1 or even several levels. At that time, they would definitely not be as passive as he was now when facing the Taiyan Kingdom and the other people of foreign races. The more Leah thought about it, the more excited she became. The appearance of the Diamond Tier Elementary Grade Aurora Tower would allow her to see the new dawn of the Aurora Kingdom. Zhao Changshu looked at her with mixed feelings. Finally, he shook his head. Your Highness, don't say such things again. My lord has given me a new lease on life. I'm already dead loyal to my lord. I, Zhao Changshu, will never turn to another country in this life even if I die. He said it extremely firmly and seriously. Leah was a little confused. He had only been here for a little more than 10 days and he was actually already dead loyal to that Lord of the Blazing Sun? What charms did he have to make a Diamond Tier Elementary Grade architect treat him so well? She suddenly thought of something. Then she said goodbye to Zhao Changshu and ran straight to the Lord's residence. Your Highness, slow down. The maid Yu Qiao chased after her. Zhao Changshu was left deep in thought. On the other side, when Leah and Yu Qiao arrived at the Lord's residence, they realized that Zhou was not there. After asking around for a long time, they found out that Zhou had gone to the dojo. The two of them immediately rushed to the dojo. A moment later, the three of them met in a lounge in the dojo. Your Highness, why are you looking for me so urgently? Zhou looked at Leah and asked. My lord, Leah has a request. She said. Please continue. Zhou acknowledged. I want to hire Zhao Changshu, Elder Zhao, to go to our Aurora Kingdom and build the Diamond Tier Elementary Grade Aurora Tower. Leah went straight to the point. Zhou raised his eyebrows. However, he was not surprised. When he told Elder Zhao that he wanted to build the White Platinum Tier Advanced Grade Aurora Tower, He had never thought of hiding it from anyone else. He even wanted Elder Zhao to tell Li Ye about this. The fish really took the bait looking at it now. Elder Zhao is the best architect in my territory. He's also an old senior I rely on. Your Highness, this request is really putting me on the spot, Zhou said with a troubled expression. Our Aurora Kingdom will pay a price that will satisfy the Lord and Elder Zhao, Li Ye said. Then I can consider it. Zhou's expression changed as he smiled. Li Ye was speechless. Why did she suddenly feel like she had been tricked? What does my lord want? She pondered for a few seconds and asked calmly. I want your Aurora Kingdom to build a diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower in my Blazing Sun City for free. All the manpower and resources will be provided by you other than Elder Zhao. In addition, I hope you can help if I want to build more advanced Aurora Towers. Of course, it would not be for free. Zhou smiled. He had this thought in his mind ever since he found out that Zhao Changshou had been promoted to a diamond-tier elementary-grade architect. However, he was limited by manpower and resources at that time, so he could not do it. Now was the perfect time to do this. Okay. I promise you on behalf of my father. Are there any other conditions? Li Ye agreed immediately. Zhou raised his eyebrows. He thought that she would at least go back and discuss it with the Aurora Kingdom king after she heard this condition. He did not expect her to agree directly. He seemed to have underestimated the ability of this Aurora Kingdom princess. There's another condition. At the moment, I really need Elder Zhao in my territory. I'll let him go to your place to help after Elder Zhao is done with my matters. Zhou pondered for a moment and said, that's what it should be. It can't be considered a condition. Actually, the diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower can also be completed in the Lord's territory before being transported back to our Aurora Kingdom. There's no need for Elder Zhao to travel a long way to supervise the construction. Li Ye said. Then so be it. Send over the resources and manpower to build the diamond-tier elementary-grade Aurora Tower, and transport them back when the construction is complete. Zhou was stunned for a moment before speaking immediately. It was naturally best if Elder Zhao did not leave the territory. Li Ye nodded. Then I haven't thought of any other requests for the time being. Let's talk about it when I think of it. Zhou thought for a moment and said. Li Ye nodded. Our Aurora Kingdom will always remember and honor this request, she said seriously. Zhou smiled and nodded. A smile finally appeared on Li Ye's face seeing that the matter was settled. Zhou was also quite satisfied. This transaction was considered a happy ending. Then, Li Ye asked curiously where the white platinum-tier Aurora crystal came from. Zhou told the other party what had happened before the other party came to a realization. However, she was also amazed by Zhou's luck. Regarding his luck, Zhou smiled and did not say anything else. In that case, there's no time to lose. Let's go back now and tell my father about this. Li Ye stood up and said. Are you in such a hurry? It's almost dark. It won't be too late to leave tomorrow. Zhou was a little surprised. The sooner we get this done, the better. Otherwise, a large number of Aurora Kingdom subjects will die at the hands of the fog monsters in the Taiyan Kingdom every moment, Li Ye said solemnly. Since the other party had already said so, Zhou did not say anything else. Seeing this, Li Ye and Yu Qiao went back to pack their luggage. The two of them had just walked out of the Lord's residence, when Yu Qiao could not help but click her tongue. Your Highness, not long ago, you said that we might be helped by the Lord of the Blazing Sun in the future. I didn't expect it to come so quickly. Things are unpredictable. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. But it's a good thing. Li Ye also felt a little emotional and smiled. Yu Qiao nodded vigorously. A moment later, the two of them left Blazing Sun City. Zhou personally sent the two of them out of the city. He was not worried about their safety. This was because Nazario had long reminded him that the two of them were protected by a mysterious guardian. The aura of the guardian even made it feel fear. However, the other party was still polite. The guardian did not even enter the city when Li Ye and her maid lived in Blazing Sun City, guarding them from outside the city. Perhaps the other party was confident that he or she would rush over immediately even if something happened to Li Ye and the other party in the city. However, that was not Zhou's concern. A moment later, Bao Xiu'er came to the Lord's residence to look for him. "My lord, this is the white silver tier elementary grade new wind ceremony that the teacher has just made. Do you want to try it on?" she asked. "There's no need to try it on. I still believe in teacher Zhang Li's skills." Zhou smiled and took the bag of clothes. He took it out and looked at it. The overall style of the white silver tier elementary grade new wind ceremony was not much different from before. However, Zhou could also tell that it had become more exquisite and imposing. A text notification appeared. Outfit name: New Wind Ceremony. Outfit grade: White Silver Tier Elementary Grade. Set attribute 1. New Wind Protection. The surface of the New Wind Ceremony is engraved with the New Wind Defense Sigil. It can defend against white silver tier physics and energy damage from the outside world. It can also play a certain defensive role against some yellow gold tier physics and energy damage. Set attribute 2. Beauty of the ceremony. Same as before. Set attribute 3. New Wind. Same as before. Current outfit completeness: 5/5. Introduction. A unique piece of equipment for New Wind's tailoring skills. It was inherited from a certain extinct country. Zhou nodded in satisfaction. The increase in the noble charm effect from beauty of the ceremony and New Wind's flying effect did not change. However, its defense had been greatly strengthened. The highest could already play a certain defensive role against some yellow gold tier physics and energy damage. This improvement was quite practical. I'll bring Elder Bai to see Teacher Zhang Li and Teacher Li Huiwei later. Do you want to come along? Zhou said. Yes. Bao Xiu'er's eyes lit up and she immediately said. Zhou acknowledged. Half an hour later, Bai Yun, Wuxia, Nazario, Soul Reaper Maris, and a group of soldiers had returned. At the same time, they also brought back all the loots from the 2 green bronze tier regions. Chapter 165: Cerulean Planet's Ancestor Statue. Gongshuban. New Alchemy Technology. If audio player doesn't work, press stop then play button again. 165 Cerulean Planet's Ancestor Statue. Gongshuban. New Alchemy Technology. Greetings, my lord. Bai Yun and Wuxia knelt on the ground and said respectfully, Rise, I already know your results. It's been hard on you guys. Zhou smiled. This is our duty. Bai Yun said in a deep voice. Since I promised the Lord that I would return victorious, I naturally can't go back on my word. Wuxia chuckled. Zhou acknowledged. After that, the two of them reported the results of the day to him. In order to take down 2 green bronze tier regional territories, they had killed more than 15,000 monsters. They used the Conqueror's blast furnace to retrieve the loots. Under the effect of the perfect loots, they obtained a total of 142,546 green bronze tier mist cores, 32,154 white silver tier mist cores, and 718 yellow gold tier mist cores. 24,620 various skill books. Green bronze tier, white silver tier, yellow gold tier. 16,548 pieces of equipment. Green bronze tier, white silver tier, yellow gold tier. 1 Cerulean Planet Ancestor Statue. 2 white silver tier advanced grade alchemy pharmacist recruitment books. 3 white silver tier intermediate grade alchemy technician recruitment books. 32 origin crystals. 5 black iron tier territory tokens. 5 green bronze tier territory tokens. 2 green bronze tier regional tokens. 74 green bronze tier Lord Talent crystal fragments. Also in today's battle, under the influence of the blessing of the 10 gods, the war god's blessing, many soldiers also broke through. Now in his blazing sun army, there were already 1,124 green bronze tier military professionals and 58 white silver tier military professionals. Among the remaining soldiers, the weakest was at the black iron tier intermediate grade. At the end of the battle, Bai Yun's strength also broke through again, reaching the white silver tier advanced grade. Zhou was quite satisfied. He was even more determined to upgrade the blessing of the 10 gods, the Lord Talent of the blessing of the war god. He happened to obtain enough green bronze tier Lord Talent crystal fragments this time, and would be able to upgrade this talent from green bronze tier to white silver tier today. However, he had plenty of time now and was not in a hurry to upgrade it immediately. Therefore, Zhou looked at the other loots first. Firstly, there was the green bronze tier ancestor statue of the Cerulean planet's human race. Treasure name: Cerulean planet's ancestor statue Gongshiban. Treasure grade: green bronze tier. Treasure effect: place it in the shrine of the Imperial Ancestral Temple, and activate the ancestor statue's beneficial effect on territory, subjects, or lords. Treasure description: the ancestor of ancient Chinese civil architecture, the carpenter ancestor, and the ancestor of the opera. Prompt: collect 2 ancestral statues of the same level, and the same person, and you can fuse them into a higher level ancestral statue. The fused ancestral statue will produce a better buff effect on the territory, subjects, and lords. It's actually Gong Shiban. He's also a big shot. Zhou was surprised. Then, he put this Cerulean planet's ancestor statue into his spatial ring, and went to the Imperial Ancestral Temple, and placed it in the rightmost shrine. The next second, the Imperial Ancestral Temple shook slightly again. At the same time, a gritted and calm man's voice sounded in his mind. I will not kill anyone. This should be the voice of Ancestor Gong Shiban. Zhou acknowledged. At this moment, a new text notification appeared. You have placed a green bronze tier ancestor statue of the Cerulean planet's human race in the shrine of the Imperial Ancestral Temple Gong Shiban. You have activated the exclusive ancestral enhancement effect, Heart of the Craftsman. The current ancestor statue has been updated. Current ancestral enhancement effect has been updated. Zhou opened the current ancestral enhancement effect. A text notification appeared. Ancestral enhancement. Heart of the Craftsman grade. Green bronze tier. Enhancement effect 1. Increase the efficiency of war machinery manufacturing in the territory by 30%. Enhancement effect 2. Construction efficiency of the territory plus 10%. Blessing description. A blessing from Cerulean planet's ancestor Gong Shiban. This enhancement can be used soon. After Zhou saw the enhancement effect, he immediately thought of the Aurora Tower. This was because the Aurora Tower was both a building and a war machine. It could completely take into account the effects of both effects at the same time. Moreover, the construction efficiency of his territory would increase by 10% in the future. This was undoubtedly one of the most needed enhancements for the rapidly developing Blazing Sun City and Sand Gold City. The more Zhou looked at it, the more satisfied he was with this ancestral enhancement. After that, he bowed 3 times to these 2 ancestors and left the Imperial Ancestral Temple. He came to the Gate of Summoning and threw in 2 white silver tier advanced grade alchemy pharmacist recruitment books and 3 white silver tier intermediate grade alchemy technician recruitment books. Soon 2 white silver tier advanced grade alchemy pharmacists and 3 white silver tier intermediate grade alchemy technicians walked out of the Gate of Summoning. Greetings, my lord. X5, they said respectfully. Welcome everyone. Zhou acknowledged. As expected, these 5 were gnomes from the people of foreign races like Ashburn. He looked at their skill list. The skill list of 2 alchemy pharmacists was similar to Peggy Orlena's in the gnome alchemy workshop. They were all life potions, energy potions, and some unimportant ordinary potions. It was just that the level of the potions was higher. As for the remaining 3 alchemy technicians, even though the contents of the skill list were the same, what they knew attracted Zhou's attention. Zhou looked at one of them. Subject: Ivan Rowley. Territory: Blazing Sun City. Life profession: Alchemy technician. Profession level: White silver tier intermediate grade. Ability overview: Member of the Alchemy Technology Guild. He can make some practical alchemy technology products and yearns for money and status. Skills: Alchemy technology mechanical flying claw. Black iron tier advanced grade. Alchemy technology mechanostrider. White silver tier elementary grade. Alchemy technology biological prosthesis. White silver tier intermediate grade. Loyalty: Dead loyal potential. White platinum tier intermediate grade. Zhou opened these 3 alchemy technologies and checked their details. Alchemy technology product: mechanical flying claw grade. Black iron tier advanced grade. Product effect: press the switch and you can fire a grappling claw to grab an object or life. After that, you can choose to pull yourself closer to the other party or pull the other party to your side. Product description. One of the products of Gnome Alchemy technology. It is commonly seen in construction work, waste recycling and disposal. Alchemy technology product. Mechanostrider grade. White silver tier elementary grade product effect 1. Uses the Mist core as a power source and has high-level intelligence. It can carry out most of the orders of the rider. Its normal speed is 300 km per hour. It can easily travel in plains, wilderness, forests, deserts, and other environments. Moreover, it can maintain a certain level of mobility under harsh environment conditions such as magma, swamps, storms, and vortexes. It will not be damaged for a short period of time. Product effect 2. Swift flight. The Mechanostrider accelerates the burning of the Mist core in its body and activates flight mode. Its flying speed will increase to 2,000 km per hour in an hour. An hour later, the Mechanostrider will enter cool-down mode. Its speed will decrease to 1,000 km per hour and return to normal 2 hours later. Product description. A combination of Gnome Alchemy technology and Goblin craftsmanship. It contains the crystallization of both parties' wisdom. It is a cheap and practical means of transportation and is deeply loved by adventurers and travelers. Alchemy technology product. Biological prosthesis. Grade. White silver tier intermediate grade product effect. It can be installed in the incomplete parts of a disabled life form, allowing the disabled life form to recover the basic biological functions. Product description. One of the representative works of Gnome Alchemy technology. When it was born, it caused a sensation in the entire alchemy technology world. Zhou's eyes lit up as he looked at the 3 alchemy technologies. Chapter 166 Hero Skill Book. If audio player doesn't work, press stop then play button again. 166 Hero Skill Book. Zhou looked at the 3 alchemy items. Among them, the mechanical flying claw could be used in the construction process. There was no need to mention the Mechanostrider. Originally, the Mechanostrider was only a black iron tier advanced grade alchemy technology. This has directly increased to the white silver tier elementary grade now. Not only would its speed increase greatly, it would also directly exceed the overcharge mode speed of the original black iron tier advanced grade. Moreover, the original overcharge mode had directly become flight mode. Its flying speed was also quite extraordinary. It could travel 2,000 kilometers in an hour. This was already twice the speed of an ordinary civil aircraft on the Cerulean planet. The speed in cooldown mode was comparable to the highest speed of a civil aircraft. Manufacture. He had to manufacture it. Zhou immediately thought with excitement. This thing was too important to his territory. Zhou could even build an airport with it. They were here to provide flying services to themselves, the army, the subjects, and even the life forms from the outside world. Wu Tu's reconnaissance team could also be upgraded. As for the final biological prosthesis, it was also very useful. Zhou was fighting other lords every day. His subjects were all ordinary people. It was not like those high-level races which could regenerate themselves even if their limbs were broken. To ordinary people, disability represents a lifetime of misfortune. Not only would they not be able to be a soldier, their lives would be problematic. Now that he had this biological prosthesis, those disabled subjects could return to their normal lives. They could even join the army or pursue other professions again. It was definitely different from their original limbs. It would already become a huge change to the disabled subjects. What kind of biological prosthesis can you make? Zhou asked. I can make leg prosthetics. I can make arm prosthetics. I can make both. The 3 white silver tier intermediate grade alchemy technicians said. Can you make fake eyes? The kind that can see things normally? Zhou asked. The structure of the false eye is even more complicated. We need to be at least at the yellow gold tier to be able to make it. We can't make it yet. Ivan Rowley was in a difficult position. In that case it's fine. Zhou could not help but feel that it was a pity. However, he did not care too much. In the future, as the level of the monsters killed by his subjects increased, they would definitely drop higher-level alchemy technician recruitment books. He might be able to create fake eyes when the time comes. Will my territory develop into cyberpunk style in the future? This thought suddenly appeared in Jojo's mind. Then he could not help but laugh. Who cares about the style? It doesn't matter as long as he is strong. After that, he asked the two of them about the materials needed to make these 3 alchemy technologies and the approximate cost. The cost of making the Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Mechanical Flying Claw was 10 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores. A White Silver Tier Elementary Grade Mechanostrider costs 5 White Silver Tier Mist Cores, while a White Silver Tier Intermediate Grade Biological Prosthetic Limb cost 8 White Silver Tier Mist Cores. After Jojo found out, he immediately set up a transaction to buy the corresponding manufacturing materials in the marketplace. Then, he sent the 5 of them to the Gnome Alchemy Workshop and asked them to work with Ashburn and the others. After the materials arrived, he would specially make these 3 new alchemy technologies. After that, Jojo returned to the Lord's residence. Then, he took out a set of new skill books he had obtained today and learned them all. There was no harm in having more skills. In any case, there was no limit to the number of skills he could learn. It would not be wrong to learn more. After that, he looked at the remaining loots thoughtfully and did not choose to sell them at the marketplace. This was because these skills and equipment were things that military professionals and subjects had never mastered. In addition, they could not be reproduced through the monster ranches. If they sold them, they would really be gone. He still only wanted to sell the products produced by the monster ranches. As for these loots, they could be put into the military merit exchange system and subject contribution points exchange system to let the military professionals and subjects become stronger. This could also encourage the subjects to make contributions to the territory. Then he took out the 2 green bronze tier regional tokens. Jojo looked at them. The item information appeared. Treasure name, regional token region name. Blackrock Desert, changeable. Regional grade, green bronze tier area size. About 1,211 square kilometers. Treasure description. Blackrock Desert's regional token. A lord who possesses this regional token and integrates it into the territory stone tablet can become a regionav lord of the Blackrock Desert and obtain an exclusive regional treasure chest. Treasure name, regional token region name. Silent Wasteland, changeable. Regional grade, green bronze tier area size. About 1,542 square kilometers. Treasure description. Regional token of the Blazing Sun Desert. The lord who possesses the regional token and fuses it with the territory stone tablet can become the regional lord of the Blazing Sun Desert and obtain a regional exclusive treasure chest. Jojo clicked his tongue in wonder. As expected of a green bronze tier area. The Blackrock Desert alone was twice the size of the Blazing Sun Desert. The Silent Wasteland was 3 times the size of the Blazing Sun Desert. Then, he came to the territory tablet and fused the 2 regional tokens into it. Rows of golden text notifications appeared. Congratulations on obtaining a green bronze tier regional token, Blackrock Desert. You have officially become the regional lord of this region. Congratulations on obtaining a green bronze tier regional token, Silent Wasteland, and officially becoming the regional lord of this region. New Blackrock Desert and Silent Wasteland have been added to your regional territory. You have obtained 2 regional treasure chests. Jojo opened his regional territory column. He looked over. Regional territory, Blazing Sun Desert, Black Iron Tier. Sand Goldland, Black Iron Tier. Thorn Dune, Black Iron Tier. Blackrock Desert, Silent Wasteland. I already have 5 regional territories. Jojo nodded in satisfaction. Then he opened the 2 regional treasure chests. There was a green bronze tier regional resource pack in the Blackrock Desert's regional treasure chest. Inside was a total of 2 million units of basic resources and 50,000 units of green bronze tier materials, forged stainless steel. In the other regional treasure chest, something Jojo did not expect appeared. It was actually a hero skill book. It recorded a hero skill called the Silent March. Hero skill, Silent March. Level, Extraordinary Tier Advanced Grade. Skill effect. When a hero who has mastered the hero skill, Silent March leads an army to march. After activating the hero skill, the hero and the army he leads will not make any sound during the march for the next period of time. At the same time, they will not leave any traces of marching. Divination-type professionals of the same level will not be able to detect the information of this hero and the army he leads. Prompt 1. The duration of the silent march will depend on the strength of the hero. The stronger the hero is, the longer it will last, and the harder it will be to be discovered. The weaker the hero, the shorter the duration, and the easier it will be for them to be discovered. Prompt 2. This hero skill is essentially a half-growth skill. The upper limit of growth is Extraordinary Tier Advanced Grade. Any hero with a hero's fate level above Extraordinary Tier can learn it. A regional treasure chest that actually drops a hero skill? This hero skill is too awesome. I like it. Zhou looked at the hero skill book and was pleasantly surprised. Chapter 167 White Silver Tier Lord Talent. Begin the ranking if audio player doesn't work. Press stop then play button again. 167 White Silver Tier Lord Talent. Begin the ranking, let Bai Yun use it. Zhou thought for a moment and immediately made a decision. Not only was Bai Yun the commander of the Blazing Sun Army, she was also an epic tier hero with a higher potential than Elder Wu. Moreover, she had followed him the longest and made the most contributions. There were so many reasons. She was naturally the person with the most potential and qualifications to use this hero skill. Zhou was not a hero yet, so he naturally could not learn this hero skill. After that, he sent someone to call Bai Yun over and handed this hero skill to her. Bai Yun was shocked when she saw the hero skill in her hand. As a hero, she naturally knew the importance of hero skills. Could be said that heroic skills and the fate level were the two symbolic statuses of heroes. Both of them were indispensable. The Lord actually handed such an important treasure to him. Thank you, my lord. I will definitely not let you down, my lord. I will develop this hero skill to the greatest extent. Bai Yi took a deep breath and thanked him respectfully. Zhou acknowledged. He was about to say something when he saw Bai Yun hesitate and say, "By the way, my lord, Aaliyah and Atli came to look for me just now. They said they wanted to find a job in the territory. After thinking about it, I finally feel that you need them the most, my lord." Why do you say that? Zhou was a little surprised. Because the Lord's territory is no longer the same as before. The Lord is busy every day. Under such circumstances, how can my lord not have at least 2 servants you can order around at any time? Like just now. I'm afraid my lord would still get a soldier you found on the spot to call me, right? Bai Yun said. Zhou opened his mouth and realized that he could not refute. He had indeed found the patrol soldiers and asked them to go to Bai Yun and call her over. Thinking of this, he really needed 2 people who could help him at any time. Sure. Well, do as you say. Zhou agreed without hesitation. In any case, there were guest rooms in the mansion now. Since the 2 of them were here, and they had a ready-made place to live, they could also increase the population of such a huge lord's residence. Bai Yun nodded. After that, Zhou asked Bai Yi to go to the soldiers and get them to prepare to enter the battlefield of the lords of all races. Bai Yi immediately took her leave. Then, Zhou took out 100 green bronze tier lord talent crystal fragments. He looked at the fragments. Soon, a line of golden words slowly appeared. Discovered 100 green bronze tier lord talent crystal fragments. Do you want to fuse them into a white silver tier lord talent origin divine crystal? Yes, Zhou said. The next second, a large amount of green bronze light flashed. Then, a thumb-sized hexagonal silver crystal appeared in front of him. It was surrounded by a silver-white belt of light that looked like a ring of stars. It was the white silver tier Lord Talent Origin Divine Crystal. Treasure name: Lord Talent Origin Divine Crystal. Treasure grade: white silver tier. Treasure effect 1. The Lord will randomly awaken a green bronze tier Lord Talent after absorbing it. Treasure effect 2. A Lord with a green bronze tier Lord Talent can use it to upgrade his green bronze tier Lord Talent to a white silver tier Lord Talent. Treasure description: a law treasure condensed by the supreme will. It can be used to awaken talent or upgrade talents. Absorb/upgrade. Upgrade, Zhou said in a low voice. As you have 3 green bronze tier Lord Talents, Gnome Alchemy Workshop Insight Defection and 10 God's Blessing War God's Blessing, please choose one to upgrade. I choose to upgrade the blessing of the 10 gods. The blessing of the war god. Zhou said. The other 2 green bronze tier lord talents were not bad. However, he still felt that increasing the blessing of the 10 gods, the blessing of the war god, was the best choice. Lord talent has been chosen. Upgrading in progress. The next second, a familiar warm feeling came from between his eyebrows. A moment later, the warmth faded. A new text notification appeared. Lord talent upgrade successful. Congratulations, your green bronze tier lord talent, blessing of the 10 gods, the blessing of the war god, has been upgraded to green bronze tier lord talent, blessing of the 10 gods, the blessing of the war god. Your mythical tier lord talent effect is as follows: lord talent, blessing of the 10 gods, blessing of the war god, white silver tier. Blessing of the 10 gods, the blessing of the war god. One of the 10 war gods under the supreme will has blessed you and your military professions. You and your military professions will obtain an additional 400% promotion energy after killing the enemy. This improvement is not bad. Zhou's eyes lit up when he saw the contents of the enhanced talent. From the original, obtain an additional 200% promotion energy. 2. Obtain an additional 400% promotion energy. In the future, killing 1 enemy with his soldiers would be equivalent to killing 5 enemies. This is only at white silver tier. What about the mythical tier? Zhou could not help but look forward to it. A moment later, he came back to his senses and looked at the crystal fragment of the Lord talent he had before falling into deep thought. If I want to continue upgrading this Lord talent, I can either obtain another 7 yellow gold tier Lord talent crystal fragments, or obtain another 973 green bronze tier Lord talent crystal fragments. Zhou was a little stunned thinking of this. More than 900 green bronze tier Lord talent crystal fragments. How long would it take him to gather them? It would take 14 days to gather, even if he could obtain Lord talent crystal fragments every day. However, it was only the 11th day since he came to the high continent. He was guaranteed that he would experience another round of drastic changes in another 14 days. He'll save the remaining 27 Lord talent crystal fragments to upgrade the other green bronze tier Lord talent. It's a little too far away to upgrade to white silver tier Lord talent, Zhou thought. Actually, these 27 green bronze tier Lord talent crystal fragments could also be used to upgrade the black iron tier Lord talent. Return to the city. However, Zhou felt that there was no need. He had not used the black iron tier Lord talent, return to the city, too many times until now. It was not practical and would not be too late to upgrade it when it was needed. After that, Zhou opened the battlefield shop in the Lord Battlefield function. He looked at the goods inside and pondered for a while. Then, he temporarily decided not to buy them. There was no need to buy these things now. For example, the territory rebirth token. He had yet to encounter an opponent who could defeat him, so he had yet to use the 3 territory rebirth tokens in his hands, and naturally did not need to buy any more. Thinking of this, Zhou closed the battlefield shop and walked out of the residence, getting the soldiers to prepare for battle. Then he opened the Lord Battlefield again and clicked on ranking. A text notification appeared. Matching with your ranking opponent. Match successful. Entering the battlefield. Chapter 168 Master Slave Territory Contract. Completed. If audio player doesn't work, press stop then play button again. 168 Master Slave Territory Contract. Completed. Zhou calmly watched his body slowly turn illusory. Soon his entire body disappeared. When he saw his surroundings again, he realized that he had appeared on a grassy plain. He stood on the city wall and looked into the distance. This grassland was very vast with no end in sight. Occasionally, he could see a few small animals leisurely eating grass and playing. I haven't seen such a scene in a long time. A breeze blew past. The faint fragrance of grass made Zhou sigh. There was a city further away. There were bungalows connected to each other inside and 4 walls that were only more than 10 meters tall. As there was no obstruction in his vision, he immediately saw the creature living inside. They were strong sheep with fiery red horns burning like flames on their heads. Some of them were preparing for battle, while others were wolfing down the black meat. Zhou looked at one of the strongest sheep. It lived in the center of all the sheep and looked at Zhou from afar. The other party was 4 to 5 meters tall. Its fur was burning with flames, and its pair of fiery red goat eyes were suffused with a violent red light. The 2 goat horns on its head were more than 2 meters long. At a glance, it was simply like a mutated beast from the classic of mountains and seas. A notification appeared. Name of the Lord of the Foreign Race. Lord of the Original Sheep, Slow Goat King, Strength Level. Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade, People of Foreign Race Description. A Lord of the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race from the Green Grass World. Its favorite food is the wolf meat of the Black Mountain Wolf. It is irritable and likes meat. It was born with a weak ability to control fire due to its race talent. Loot's drop rate none. Zhou flipped his right hand. The Index of All Races, Book 1, appeared in his hand. As a wisp of energy surged into the index, Zhou could clearly feel that this index seemed to have unlocked something. He immediately flipped to the first page. It was still the index of the gopher race. Then he turned to the second page. It was an illustration of the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race. Scarlet Flame Sheep Race. The Scarlet Flame Sheep Race from the Green Grass World. Ever since they were born, they were surrounded by the life force that filled the Green Grass World. They were not only strong by birth, they also had a weak ability to control flames. It's easy for them to go berserk in battle, but their combat strength will double. They have been summoned to the High Continent by the Supreme Will. Zhou retracted his gaze and put away the Index of All Races, Book 1. At this moment, a new text notification appeared. You have entered the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Battlefield. You and your opponent have been randomly assigned to the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Battlefield. Green Grass Plain. Your opponent is Lord of the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race, Lord of the Original Sheep. Condition to defeat the enemy. Kill all the enemy forces within 24 hours. If you exceed the time limit, both sides will be judged to have negative battle results. Ranking -1. You have 10 minutes to deploy your forces. Countdown 9 minutes. 59 seconds. Zhou immediately began to deploy. This time, other than Baiyun, Wuxia, Maris, Nazario, Ox Demons, Atu, and other high-end combatants, he had only summoned 12,000 Blazing Sun Army soldiers. This was because after deploying soldiers in the Lord battlefield, the soldiers in reality would disappear. This was also what Zheng Yuanqi told Zhou after he returned from the Lord battlefield for the first time. Therefore, the more than 5,000 soldiers he did not deploy this time were left behind to protect his Blazing Sun City and Sand Gold City. After Baiyun and the others appeared, Zhou immediately asked them to start setting up defenses. Baiyun, Wuxia, and the others immediately accepted the order. A moment later, the 12,000 soldiers were all arranged in their positions. After a while, a text notification appeared. Deployment time has ended. The Lord War has begun. Prepare for battle. Zhou looked at the city in the distance and said in a low voice. When Baiyun heard this, she immediately asked the soldiers to prepare for battle. Soon they saw more than 600 Scarlet Flame Sheep Race and some people of foreign races that they had enslaved roaring at Blazing Sun City, as they rushed over unstoppably. Zhou and the others were stunned when they saw this. Baiyun even applied the Blood Eye to see if the other party had any other hidden cards. In the end, she realized that the other party had really attacked with all their might, leaving no way out for them. The other party probably knew that we were humans through the Index of All Races, so they felt that we were very weak and rushed over. Wuxia was also slightly stunned before making a guess. Rash idiots. Baiyun shook her head. Zhou also smiled. He was really afraid that the other party would keep hiding and not come out to drag it out. Since the other party liked death so much, he would give them a quick death. When they get closer, get the long-range soldiers to start firing at the same time. After the enemy begins to escape, get the sword shield soldiers, Pudeo soldiers, and golems to leave the city immediately to chase after them and kill all the remaining enemies as soon as possible. Baiyun, be prepared to attack at any time to prevent the enemy from hiding any tricks. Soul Reaper Maris can attack immediately. Zhou said. Yes. A large number of responses immediately came from behind him. Soul Reaper Maris sat cross-legged without another word. Then, his soul left the body and flew expressionlessly towards the scarlet flame sheep race with the black scythe in his hand. It quickly flew amidst the enemy. It had already reached the green bronze tier advance grade, and could instantly kill enemies below the green bronze tier advance grade. As the scythe swung, the enemies fell one by one silently under its god of death scythe. A kill notification appeared. Your subject Maris has killed the Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Scarlet Flame Sheep Race. Promotion Energy +4. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Maris has obtained an additional 16 promotion energy points. Your subject Maris has killed a Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade Scarlet Flame Sheep Race. Promotion Energy +20. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Maris has obtained an additional 80 promotion energy points. Your subject Maris has killed the Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade Scarlet Flame Sheep Race. Promotion Energy +80. Blessing of the War God. Your subject Maris has obtained an additional 320 promotion energy points. Zhou felt rather comfortable when he saw these kill notifications, and felt the promotion energy flowing into his body. He felt that he was almost at the White-Silver Tier Intermediate grade. This White-Silver Tier Blessing of the 10 Gods, the Blessing of the War God, not only increased the speed at which the soldier's strength increased greatly, but it also increased his strength as the Lord behind the scenes. One word. Awesome. At the same time, at this moment the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race, which had gradually lost their rationality because of the corrosion of their battle will, did not care about the death of their kind beside them. There was only one thought left in their minds. Break through the city wall in front of them. Kill all the enemies inside. Soon, they arrived within the range of the Blazing Sun Army's long-range soldiers. With Bayun's order, the 1,000 elemental archers and 2,000 poison crossbow soldiers immediately began firing at the same time. Then another volley was fired. After 2 rounds of volleys, Zhou looked at the battlefield below again. The more than 600 Scarlet Flame Sheep Race and the enslaved foreign race had already fallen to the ground and were no longer breathing. Even the Green Bronze Tier Advanced Grade Lord of the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race, Lord of the Original Sheep, had been shot into a beehive-like corpse. Zhou shook his head. A rash race. He did not even use his trump card and they actually cracked. If only I could encounter such a weak and boorish lord during every ranking, then my advancement speed will definitely be shockingly fast. Zhou sighed. At this moment, a golden text notification appeared. You have defeated the Lord of the Scarlet Flame Sheep Race, Lord of the Original Sheep, Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade. You have won this ranking competition. Congratulations. You have advanced to Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade in the Lord Battlefield of all races. You need to participate in at least one ranking competition every 3 days. Otherwise, your rank will -1. Your battlefield shop has been updated. You can return to your territory. Zhou nodded slightly. He was not too excited. He naturally did not feel that there was anything to be proud of after killing such a weak and brainless lord. He muttered to himself to return and brought everyone back to Blazing Sun City. In the Blazing Sun City, when Zhou appeared again, he immediately asked the soldiers to rest and prepare for the next Lord War. Then he opened the battlefield shop and looked at the new goods inside. When he saw the new product, Zhou raised his eyebrows. 1 Black Iron Tier Master Servant Territory Contract. Remaining purchases. 1. Price. 10 Black Iron Tier Territory Tokens. So expensive? What is it? Zhou opened its detailed information curiously. Treasure name. Master Servant Territory Contract. Treasure grade. Black Iron Tier. Treasure effect 1. The Lord can make a Lord's Black Iron Tier territory his subordinate territory after using it. The Lord of the subordinate territory and the sovereignty of his territory will belong to the Lord of the main territory. The subordinate territory cannot disobey the Lord's orders. At the same time, the Lord of the main territory will bear the responsibility of protecting the subordinate territory. Treasure effect 2. After the master-slave relationship is set up, a spatial teleportation array will appear in both territories, allowing both territories to exchange needs and provide military assistance. Treasure description. It is an unequal contract. but many lords will need it. It's actually such a treasure? Zhou was a little surprised. The first person he thought of was Linger. With this master-servant territory contract and the spatial teleportation array it provided, they could meet in reality. In the future, there would be no need to go through so much trouble and treat him like an outsider. However, the content of this master-servant territory contract did look a little unequal. He had to ask Linger first. If Linger was unwilling, he would naturally not force her. Zhou did not look for Linger immediately. Instead, he activated the next lord ranking. This time, his opponent was a lord of the wilderness spirit monster race. The other party was much smarter than the Scarlet Flame sheep race, and knew how to avoid the Blazing Sun army. However, because they were not very strong, Zhou and the others only used about half an hour to end this round of the Lord War. A golden text notification appeared. You have defeated the Wilderness Spirit Monster Lord. Lord of the Windchaser. Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Lord. You have won this ranking competition. Congratulations. You have advanced to Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade in the Lord Battlefield of all races. Congratulations. You have completed your ranking competition and achieved the basic goal of this Myriad Races Lord Battlefield event. You have obtained the Green Bronze Tier title. Green Bronze Tier Lord. You have obtained one Lord Tier treasure chest. You need to participate in at least one ranking competition every 3 days. Otherwise, your rank will -1. Your battlefield shop has been updated. You can return to your territory. Zhou looked at the notification and nodded in satisfaction. Chapter 169 Event Limited Fashion. New Cerulean Planet Human Race Building. If audio player doesn't work, press stop then play button again. 169 Event Limited Fashion. New Cerulean Planet Human Race Building. The ranking match is a little easy. Zhou thought ruefully. However, this was normal. If even he, as the top lord of the race, felt that it was very difficult to achieve the basic goal of the event, it would basically be equivalent to committing collective suicide if the other human lords of the Cerulean planet participated in this Myriad Races Lord Battlefield activity. This was only the first official Lord event. No matter how much the Supreme Will wanted to select the Lord of all races, it would not be so crazy to increase the difficulty. I still can't relax. My target is the strongest Lord of my race. I'm still a long way from that goal. Zhou calmed down and thought. Then, he opened the basic target reward he had just obtained. First was the Green Bronze Tier title. Green Bronze Tier Lord. Title name. Green Bronze Tier Lord. Title quality. Green Bronze Tier Enhanceable. Title Effect 1. When fighting against the enemy forces of the Scarlet Fog, you and your subjects will obtain an additional 5% increase in strength. Title Effect 2. When you speak in the World Channel within the race, the suffix of your Lord Battlefield title will be added behind your title. You can take the initiative to turn it off or activate it. Title Description. A limited title for the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield event. It represents the recognition by the Supreme Will for the strength of the Lord. As the rank increases or decreases, this title will also be promoted or demoted. Zhou nodded slightly. This title effect was quite practical. The 5% increase in strength might not be high, but it was already quite good for a Green Bronze Tier title to have such an enhancement effect in range. Then he looked at the Lord's treasure chest. It was a bronze treasure chest that was 1 meter long, wide, and tall. A text notification appeared. Lord Tier Treasure Chest. In the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield event, the exclusive reward will only be given after the Lord completes the ranking competition. Zhou opened it. He realized that there were 3 Green Bronze Tier Territory Rebirth tokens and a Green Bronze Tier outfit inside. The Green Bronze Tier Territory Rebirth token had the same function as the Black Iron Tier Territory Rebirth token. It was only effective against the Green Bronze Tier Lord ranking competition. Even though this green bronze colored outfit was a little simple, it exuded a dignified aura. The outfit consists of a top, pants, gloves, shoes, and shirt. He took it out and looked at it. A text notification appeared. Fashion outfit name. Battlefield Recruit. Event Limited Fashion. Fashion grade. Green bronze tier, enhanceable. Fashion feature 1. Reduces 20% of sustained damage green bronze tier, and below by the wearer. Fashion feature 2. Leave the battlefield. In the bronze tier Lord battlefield ranking, if you have a green bronze tier territory rebirth token and your side is at a disadvantage, the Lord has the right to voluntarily admit defeat and automatically withdraw from the Lord battlefield ranking. Fashion feature 3. You can take the initiative to choose to hide the equipment or fashion outfit you are wearing, and only show the clothes you want to be seen by life forms from the outside world. Fashion outfit feature 4. Comfort plus 3. Current fashion outfit completeness. 5/5. Introduction. A limited fashion outfit for the myriad races Lord battlefield. Not only does it have the functions that normal equipment should have, it also has some unique functions in the Lord battlefield. The Supreme will understands very well. Event limited fashion outfit has been created. Zhou side. As for these 4 fashion characteristics, there was nothing much to say about the first one. It was an equipment ability that normal defense equipment had. The second one was more interesting. This should be given for a dignified defeat for the lords who had lost in the Lord battlefield, and would save the Lord from having to experience what it was like to die before losing. He should be able to use this when he encounters powerful enemies in the future. Therefore Zhou quite liked it as well. Fashion feature 3 and 4 both paid more supportive roles. There was some use but not too much. Then Zhou opened the battlefield shop and looked at the updated content and then raised his eyebrows, because he realized that the green bronze tier battlefield shop had changed greatly compared to before. 1. Cerulean Planet Human Race Building. Architectural Blueprint Fragment of the Triumphal Arch 1/7. Remaining purchases. 1. Price. 5 green bronze tier territory tokens. 2. 100 designated black iron tier elementary grade military professionals. Remaining purchases. 10. Price. 1 green bronze tier territory token. 310 designated green bronze tier basic lifestyle professionals. Remaining purchases. 10. Price. 1 green bronze tier territory token. 4. Green bronze tier resurrection token, exclusive to the Lord battlefield. Remaining purchases. 10. Price. 1 green bronze tier territory token. 5. Green bronze tier territory rebirth token, exclusive to the Lord battlefield. Remaining purchases. 10. Price. 3 green bronze tier territory tokens. 6. Green bronze tier +1. Remaining purchases. 1. Price. 5 green bronze tier territory tokens. 7. 1 black iron tier master servant territory contract. Remaining purchases. 1. Price. 10 black iron tier territory tokens. 8. Gate of Summoning reset card. Remaining purchases. 10. Price. 1 black iron tier territory token. Zhou looked at the ranking in amazement. Firstly, the original black iron tier territory rebirth token, resurrection token, and black iron tier +1 had disappeared. Other than the 3 goods, the other black iron tier battlefield goods were still preserved. Not only that, after Zhou advanced to the green bronze tier, corresponding green bronze tier exchange items were also added. The exchange price of these goods had also changed from the black iron tier territory token to the bronze tier territory token. Among these goods, the thing that attracted Zhou's attention the most was naturally the blueprint fragment of the number 1 human race on the Cerulean planet, the Triumphal Arch. Zhou had heard of this building since he was young. He originally thought that he would not have a chance to see this historical building after coming to the High Continent. He did not expect it to appear in front of him again in the form of a human race building on the Cerulean planet. Zhou clicked on its details curiously. Construction blueprint name, Triumphal Arch 1/7. Construction blueprint level, special unique. Construction blueprint effect, Triumph Glory. When the Lord and his military professional subject return victorious after the war and pass through the Triumphal Arch, if the promotion energy in the Lord and his military professional subject has already accumulated to more than 80%, there is a 50% chance of directly obtaining the promotion energy that is lacking and directly obtaining a breakthrough in Strength Realm. Construction blueprint description. The blueprint of the human race on Cerulean planet. Good news arrived from the battlefield yesterday for the triumphant return of the army today. When Zhou saw the construction effect of the Triumphal Arch, there was only one thought in his mind. I have to own it. The construction function of this triumphal arch was a perfect match for his blessing of the 10 gods, the blessing of the war god. With these 2 lord talents that increased his strength and the buildings of the human race on the cerulean planet, wouldn't the strength of the military professionals under his command increase? Then, he noticed the level description of this blueprint. Special unique? What did this mean? Zhou was a little puzzled. If it was a unique blueprint, how could every green bronze tier lord exchange for it? Just as he was thinking, a line of text appeared. Supreme Will Notification 1. The Triumphal Arch has a total of 7 blueprint fragments. The first 6 blueprint fragments can be exchanged for after every cerulean planet lord reaches the corresponding lord battlefield rank. However, the 7th blueprint fragment is the only blueprint fragment. Only lords of the same race who have reached the epic tier or obtained the title of the strongest lord can buy it. Supreme Will Notification 2. When the last blueprint fragment is obtained, the blueprint fragments in the hands of the other lords will disappear. The Triumphal Arch will become the complete blueprint of the cerulean planet's human race. Zhou thoughtfully looked at the notifications of the Supreme Will. It seemed that he had to increase the speed of his ranking. Then he looked at the battlefield shop and spent 5 green bronze tier territory tokens and 10 black iron tier territory tokens to exchange for the Triumphal Arch blueprint fragment and the black iron tier master servant territory contract. Then he looked at the territory tokens he owned. He realized that he only had 2 green bronze tier territory tokens and 3 black iron tier territory tokens left. We have to conquer other territories tomorrow, Zhou thought. The territory token was totally not enough at all. After that, he was not in a hurry to lead the soldiers to continue fighting on the Lord's battlefield. The soldiers had been fighting for a full day after all. They could not continue fighting like this even if they were made of iron. In any case, there was enough time. It was only the first day of the Myriad Races Lord Battlefield event. There was still time to play ranking tomorrow after the soldiers completely recovered their spirits and stamina. The sky was not dark yet. Zhou thought for a moment and sent someone to call Bai Yuejing and Wu Exan. After asking Elder Bai to treat a patient in Fish Spring Town, he brought him and Wu Exan onto Nazario's back and flew towards Fish Spring Town. You're tuning into the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.